Shiloh Hendrix, a woman who was filmed spewing racial slurs, and an individual has been found guilty not of the initial incident where she says that a small child was stealing from her purse, but due to a confrontation where someone started filming her. Now, this may seem like, what is this story? Why is this very big? Well, this is a First Amendment story. A woman has been found guilty of the crime of using a racial slur against a person. This is big news. This violates the First Amendment. It's gone massively viral. The woman, Shiloh Hendrix, has raised $860,000 in an online fundraising campaign. And this news, breaking just last night, is sending shockwaves throughout the U.S., with many more liberal-minded people saying it's good that someone who used a racial slur is getting criminally charged and convicted, while most people who believe in free speech and the First Amendment are shocked that a woman has been found guilty of saying a naughty word. We're going to talk about that. Plus, the NDAA has passed, and this means the SAVE Act. And it also means this weird bill that integrates the U.S. military with Israeli military in terms of technology and management, it's very, very contentious. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com, click join now. Get in the Discord community, my friends. It is a massive Discord server with tens of thousands of individuals hanging out every single day. They got morning shows, afternoon shows, VIP exclusives. We actually have a party that's happening as you watch this video. Mm-hmm. Not for those that are watching the pre-record, but for those that are actually watching this live, we actually are having our members-only Cast Brew Coffee Shop opening party. If you want to be a part of these exclusive events, hang out, get to schmooze it up with the big cats and the big wigs, whatever that really means, join us. Support the work that we do. It might mean Alex Stein, of which you might feel that you've lost money and it wasn't worth it. But
no, you've made money. The Pimp on a Blimp is here, and I will be there tonight. And I will say that we invented the Tim Bomb, so it is just a little cold brew coffee with a little Louis XIII in it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's about
$600.
Yeah, it's about $600 cup of coffee, but trust me, it is worth it. It'll get you cross-faded and X-rated.
Alex is here, of course. Jason Ellis is hanging out.
How's it going, you guys? I'm not getting cross-faded. You're a dickhead.
No Louis bombs or no Tim bombs for you tonight.
You can't do $500 alcohol with coffee.
Well,
he's right.
You don't even do it with ice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's correct. Alex,
Alex,
you are degenerate.
Mason is like, this guy has followed no rules his entire life. Like,
Yeah, but
literally, this guy
know why?
never
But that's
once followed a rule. All of a
But
sudden,
that's how I
I'm gonna
know.
be the guy that creates the rules.
That's how I know you don't do that, because I did that, and people were like, "Why are you doing that?" Because I was putting, was it Johnny Walker Blue with Diet Coke? And someone was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You're not supposed to mix that." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? This is the best whiskey you can get, man." It's like, I can't remember how much it was for a whiskey and Coke, but it was a lot.
Same as a Tim Bomb, $600.
But apparently you're dumb if you do that. You can be dumb.
Yeah, absolutely.
I highly recommend it. It's fun.
Yeah.
We got the rest of the boys hanging out.
What's up, dudes? Good to be here.
What's up, everybody? I'm Phil Carter.
What's up, everyone? Good to be here with y'all. We got a full house tonight, so let's get into it.
Here's a story from the Minnesota Star-Tribune. Woman who hurled racial slurs at boy found guilty in Rochester trial. So here's what she gets. $1,000 fine, a stayed 90-day jail sentence. Means she's not going to go to jail. She's ordered to perform 200 hours of community service. Now, here's the thing. She's raised $860,000 after this. Now, a lot of people are saying she deserves more. What's scary about this is, here's the story. She's at a playground with her kid. I think she was like 36 at the time. She's 37 now. An 8-year-old black child starts going through her purse and steals a baby food. She then chases after the kid. Apparently the kid's dad chases after the kid. And she allegedly, I don't know exact, because there's no video of this, called the kid a racial slur as he was stealing the baby food from her.
What one?
The racial slur.
The one.
The one.
All right.
You said.
So then, some guy picks his phone up and starts filming her. And he says, "Did you just call that kid the N-word?" And she's like, "Screw off." And then he tells her, "Say it again." So she does several times. For that, she has been found guilty of disorderly conduct.
Was it 2 charges?
There were 2 charges. She was acquitted on the charge of calling the black child the N-word, but found guilty of disorderly conduct for calling the man filming her the N-word.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, I read all about it, but I think it. And I don't want to get all macro about this. If you look at this, she got very lucky. She got a $1,000 fine, 90-day jail sentence stayed. You look at Chud the Builder, a guy that was assaulted outside of a courtroom or whatever, and then he shot the guy, and now the guy can't get a bail bond. And there's people like Carmelo Anthony that actually killed somebody on a high school campus and was able to get a bail bond. But a guy that said the N-word and that was attacked. So it seems like the N-word is like the third rail. It's like the most powerful thing you can say and the most penalized thing that you can do. And
they give it a lot of power.
They give it so much power.
It's more than that, because if a white person is perceived to aggress against a black person, like it can be any number of things, right? Like, I mean, you look at the officer that was convicted of killing George Floyd, right?
O.J. Simpson basically got off because Mark Furman
Yeah,
got caught saying the N-word.
But so black people don't always get acquitted of crimes because if they commit them against white people. But if you're a white person and you commit some kind of transgression, it doesn't even actually have to be a real crime, because I don't think calling someone a name should ever be considered a crime, right? Even if it's offensive or whatever, there should never be any circumstance in which it's considered a crime. That's ridiculous. We don't have the thought police.
This is going to go to appeals, and she's going to win, and they're going to reverse it all.
Well, actually, who I think this actually goes to, and I'm not even trying to take this off the rails, but Josh Block. Are you guys familiar with Joshua Block, World of T-Shirts, and then like those guys? You're not familiar with any of those locales. Well, long story short, there's a guy by the name of Daniel Larson that is mentally challenged. He's very famous. You can look him up. And he's like kind of like World of T-Shirts, where World of T-Shirts is bigger. He gets drunk in like New York and has a big social media following. My point is, he's mentally challenged, and he went on his live stream on TikTok. He was like, I'm going to bomb the White House. I'm going to bomb. And he was held in federal prison for 2 years and was just let out this week for saying that. And it's like, where does free speech draw the line?
Well,
it's like, is that I mean, but technically, really, if we're allowed to say whatever we want, let's say we're under tyranny. Let's say the government is being bad.
But that's making a threat, specific threat, whereas calling someone a name is different.
I agree with that.
What do you think should have happened
To her?
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
you don't think that the mom of the kid could have slapped her?
No, because that's physical. Like, I mean, you can't assault someone.
Yeah,
Well, but the kid was stealing from her,
Right. The M-bomb.
So here's the thing. Let's take this to the maximum degree. The 8-year-old child should get a juvenile charge.
That's what I'm talking about.
He committed a theft.
Yeah.
And so
I don't think you can charge an 8-year-old.
you can. Yeah, juvenile. Yeah, absolutely.
They charged me.
At 8?
Yeah, I used to steal
I thought
stuff.
it had to be like 12 or something.
I used to steal. I got caught, man. I didn't get caught. I stole.
You're like Michael Scott. I never got caught.
Somebody else got caught because it was me and my friends at school were stealing stuff from a toy store, He-Man action figures, and I was just plowing that place. Like I got the tiger, I got the Castle Grayskull.
Cringer? Dang,
Wait, you got Castle
I walked out with Castle Grayskull, dude.
How?
Like that's how.
Wait, how?
Balling at 8 years old.
Nah, I just time when they go down that corridor, down the other corridor, and I'd take off out the door with it.
Oh my
don't know
God, that
how,
thing was
but-
huge.
It was a big box, but I got away with it until I got caught with all of it under my bed. And they were like,
By your parents?
yeah. How did you get Castle Grayskull or whatever? And then somebody else got caught that was doing it as well. And
Found
I was
it.
going to court. They were going to charge me, and somebody knew somebody and got me off the charge. But I was getting charged, and I was a kid. I remember, what is that? And they were like, you can't get a job later on. And I was like, that seems pretty serious. Like, I didn't really.
You're like, well, I'm 8. I kind of don't care right now.
All in favor of the 8-year-old child being criminally charged?
Well, that was my first thought was, look, if a kid's stealing from you at any age and you scream profanities at the kid, okay, it's over, done. You're not getting sharp. Like, if you walk up to an 8-year-old and you start screaming profanities in the kid's face, you might get arrested for assault or some sort of aggravated claim.
Well, aggravated means with a weapon, so just be assault.
Okay, then assault, but then you could add on like the racial hate crime.
No,
Absolutely.
that's the problem. The whole concept
I mean,
of
you
this.
can.
No, but listen, hear me out. The whole problem that is, the major part of the problem with this is the fact that at the end of the day, a hate crime is a thought crime. You are being punished for having bad thoughts. You have hateful thoughts and you express them, and that means it's a thought crime. So it's about the fact that you are allowed to have bad thoughts.
I'm with
and
you,
you
dude.
cannot put people in prison or you cannot punish people. The government can't. Pardon me? Yeah, I've got a 9-month-old. Yeah.
What? How old?
9 months.
What? When he got a little older, and an adult called him something, something offensive.
My dad called me the N-word my whole life.
Hold on.
What would you do?
Talking about the government punishing someone versus
But I'm trying to. I know. If you want the government out of it, I actually agree with you.
That's
But
that's
I
the whole
still
point.
say That there's repercussions in this world.
Well,
Talk shit and get regulated. And I'm okay with that.
I'm not okay
I don't
with the
know if
government
I
doing
agree
it.
with that.
Wait, what?
This is about someone that went to
you should be able to
court.
speak freely. You should be able to
that's the
say the
point.
N-word, not be get hit. I mean,
I should be able to slap you and get repercussions for it.
No. Listen.
If you want to charge
This
me,
idea.
charge me. But if I feel like hitting you, I will.
yeah, I mean, that's
Listen,
man
Alex,
code.
I'm gonna argue on this one. I see what you're saying. You're like you can insult someone and they have no right to hit you, but rights are immaterial. Law is immaterial. If you go out in the street, it doesn't matter what word you use. You walk up to someone like Jason and you start insulting him for no reason. Eventually, you're getting smacked.
Because that's the real world.
But the
right?
idea
But that's where we live.
No,
and you know what's going to happen? And you know what's going to happen? You know what I think should happen? A good cop would be like, so what happened? You're like, I walked up to him and started insulting him and calling him a bunch of slurs, and he smacked you. The cop should go, okay, get out of here.
Yeah.
End of
Some
story.
cops
Like,
will
don't
do
we
that.
don't.
Some would,
But Jason, to your point, the distinction that we have, or in this particular context, is not whether what she did was right or whether the mother would have been within a moral. Would have been a moral action to slap her. Yeah. The distinction is because it goes to court and you have the government doing it. That's the distinction. It's not that, she was fine to do it. It's that the government has a prohibition. Here in the United States, the government has a prohibition from enforcing any laws about thought or what your opinions
like
are.
to think that.
You're getting too deep on the sword thing. Like you're talking about most of the people out here day to day living stress.
It's not too
you
deep
call them
because
that
it went
word,
to
or even a word. You're having a bad day, you get called a word.
It's not too deep because
they shouldn't be involved in it. But if they're not involved in it, what if we just start killing each other? Well, because there's nobody. The cops are like, he called you an N-bomb? I don't care. Wait, he punched you in the face 10 times because you called him an N-bomb? I don't care. Like, where does it end?
I understand the point that you're making, but because in the context of this discussion, we're talking about a court case. Like that's the whole meat and potatoes of it.
It's weird because I kind of agree with you on that. I don't think the court. I agree.
My question about
I'm asking you where
literally
where does it go if we don't interject
morally.
With like, hey,
But hold on. It's the question of where the line is, and we agree as a country. If you're standing there saying naughty words, we're not going to arrest you.
Yeah.
And hold on, I'm going to add to this. We also somewhat agree, depending on context, that if someone instigates a fight, we're not going to arrest them for hitting you either.
You started the
fight. The
fight,
line is, this woman had a kid loot her purse, like steal from her. Yeah. If she went and punched that kid in the face, we got a problem, right? It's an 8-year-old kid, and what is considered? It is not considered reasonable to strike a child who's stealing from you. It was an applesauce. That's not a cell phone. He wasn't part of a gang or anything like this, so it's not reasonable. Insulting someone is just bad manners and morals.
My question though is, okay, so say there's a fight, a white guy and a black guy. The white guy beats up the black guy and then kills him in the fight or whatever. But then, and then there's another situation, a white guy and a black guy get into a fight. The white guy beats up the black guy and kills him. But then you find out he's got swastikas tattooed on him, the N-word. He wrote a manifesto about how he wants to kill a black person. Like,
you always add all this context. Everything's like all throughout each other.
Yeah, like all the way to 11.
We're talking about gauging intention. So in one instance, this guy has shown you a racial intent. So they will upscale the charges because there were racial intentions.
I think that the
That's a thought
murder.
crime.
I don't like it.
I
I
think
think that's a real thing.
It's a thought crime.
It's wrong.
I don't know how they
hear
administrate that.
Hear me out. I think that he should be charged for first-degree murder because it was pre-planned.
In both instances, I think.
Because the first thing that you were talking about, possibly they get into you
homicide.
Stop. Let me finish here. Don't.
What you're saying, dude.
Well, the first one you were talking about, they get into a fight, right? And one guy kills the guy because of the fight, right? That was what you laid out.
First degree. Let's say he
Okay,
knocks him
so
down,
that
he
would
looks
be
at him, and then he
so-
decides to finish him off. Whatever.
Okay, so that's second-degree murder.
No, it would be first degree. If you knock a guy on the ground, you look at him, and then you decide to go kill him and finish him off. That's a first degree.
All right.
murder.
Well,
American
okay.
History
So
X. Wait, but
either way, look.
Ian,
The
how
point
many
is, Ian,
manifestos
it's
have you
first-degree murder. If you
That's all I.
you just change it. Everything changes depending on what comes
What
out
was
of
that? You saw
the
that?
person he's talking to mouth. The point is, if you plan to kill someone, that is first degree, or that is intentional homicide, right? And the racial aspect is really irrelevant because you intended to go kill someone.
Are you saying legally it's irrelevant?
I don't
can,
know. I don't know what the hate how hate crimes are actually adjudicated throughout the whole country. But generally, the federal government or the government isn't supposed to be able to say you had hateful intentions, so we're going to go.
But Phil, let me just say this, and this is a personal experience. I don't want to go on a long thing. So I had this First Amendment lawsuit that went all the way to federal court. I sued the county judge of Dallas, and I brought up this Dallas Morning News article about how when he was in college, he got arrested for doing a panty raid. It went all the way to federal court. Like, you know, I paid a lot of money in front of the jury. They even admitted they didn't follow the rules of procedure of their own meeting. They had one of the county commissioners kick me out, and they had to take a vote if they want to kick me out unless the county judge does it. The county judge did not kick me out. They kept on talking about the Constitution. My attorney that I paid all this money went on this First Amendment. The federal government gives us the right to say this. My jury was 4 black women, 1 Hispanic woman, and 1 white guy. You and I have different perspective. We respect the Constitution. A lot of people do not respect the Constitution. They believe that was written during the time of slavery, so they actually hate the Constitution. So they interpret the government exactly the opposite of basically how the majority of us interpret the Constitution.
Do you believe that was
I agree
a
with
jury
that
of your
completely.
peers?
Not really, but yeah, it was. I know, but it was in Dallas. But,
They're part of the situation.
The left interpretation of the Constitution is that hate speech is not protected under the First Amendment.
yeah.
And the right's interpretation is that it is. And the left's interpretation is rooted in the fact that blasphemy used to be illegal. And that things that are considered objectionable or obscene can be, you can be criminally
That's
charged.
the argument they make, and it's functional for them.
So it's the church's fault.
It's what?
The church's fault.
To the left, sure, you know. But listen, I don't know how you're going to argue it. If the founding fathers said that blasphemy was illegal, and for 100, 200 years people were being criminally charged for blaspheming, how was the left wrong when they say objectionable material is not protected?
To Tim's point, like the left they don't care about the Constitution at all. They don't really believe any of it, but they will use things that have happened when they're functional because their goal is to exert power.
Both sides do that.
Well,
Talk about.
I agree.
I don't know that I agree in the same way that the left does, because you know that the left, like, they don't actually believe that there should be any kind of laws when it comes.
Well,
to
let's clarify. I'll describe it like this.
They believe that there
is
should be
a generality on the left to do this and a tendency on the right to do it, meaning you see it a lot on the left and you see it often on the right. So they both do it. And I make this point all the time that I talk to conservatives and they're like, I believe in the Constitution. And then I say, oh, so you think blasphemy should be illegal? And then, to be fair, some conservatives go, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But many will say, no, of course not. We shouldn't be arresting. Well, the founding fathers thought if you blasphemed, you should go to jail. And they draft this free speech, but at the same time would lock you up if you insulted. If you were like, even Catholics didn't have rights in a lot of places. So there was this, and for that matter, the Second Amendment, according to the founding fathers, did not grant you the right under states' laws to have weapons or protect you from it. If Virginia wanted to ban guns, they were allowed to do it. The federal government, the Constitution, Second Amendment, barred the federal government from passing laws on guns, not from states. We've completely changed how we view the Constitution, even on the right. So conservatives will come out and they'll say, I believe in the Constitution, I'm an originalist, and then give you a textualist interpretation.
Yep, what he said.
Yeah, you see? And if Jason agrees, that means I'm right.
No, and I do agree with you, Tim, though. It is like an interpretation of what our Bill of Rights are. And people, like I said, they don't even believe in them, right? Like they think the whole foundation of our government was built on the backs of slaves. So they hate our government. And I can almost understand their perspective a little bit, and I can almost empathize.
Yeah, that's a good
somebody,
point.
you know
I completely agree with the left now.
No,
people are bad.
I can empathize if my great-great-grandmother was a slave. I'd hate America. You know, I'm not saying
that's to my point to what I was saying to Tim is like they hate the Constitution. They don't like the America. And so when they say, oh, well, you know, the Constitution says this or Constitution says that, it's not because they have any kind of love for the government or love for the country or for the Constitution. It's because it is a functional argument and a way to win the debate.
But I have to point out that all of it only ever is a functional argument. It's just a question of how willing are you in various situations to apply a functional argument, right? My point is, conservatives' arguments on the Constitution apply to an America of the 1960s to the 1990s, and so it seems broad. But outside of the context of our past couple of generations, I would argue that they are as functional arguments as the lefts are. It's just a question of what we want to be in this country and what powers we are willing to use to enforce it. So, it's fascinating because I was actually just talking with Lily Tang Williams about this. She said that in communist China, she goes to law school as a teenager, and she's very much like the party, very excited. And then she was told by her professor that we are not a nation ruled by laws, we are a nation ruled by men. And that struck her when she began to understand what that meant, that the laws were just tools that could be used whenever they needed to control a population.
And at the end of the day, that is basically how all governments work.
Indeed. So the question is, what is the right willing to do to get the country they want? And the only real thing we're arguing is less so than the left is. The left is willing to exercise whatever power and argument they need to win and gain power, and the right sometimes does.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think that's probably correct because the right likes.
But don't we want the right to do it all the time?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because when you start talking about, if you don't have some kind of moderation, particularly on the right ends up doing things, the right is as likely as the left to do.
We don't need to say left or right. All humans are as likely to steal power. Here's the thing.
I'm more thinking about the kind of atrocities that end up happening, right? If you just say, well, exercising power is the ultimate goal.
This is the issue of atrocity. How many people died in the Iraq War?
Millions.
Well,
I don't know if it was millions.
Talking about Americans.
We're talking about Muslims.
Or people.
I think Muslims. It was over like 800,000.
There was something like 1 million people in Iraq died.
Yeah. Is that an atrocity?
Yeah.
That the United States invaded a foreign country under false pretext, and then the war resulted in the death of 1 million plus people. So the point I'm bringing up is that even the concept of an atrocity is relative to the moral perspective of a body politic.
Well, it depends. I mean, if it was like and the reason I say it depends is because with the United States initiating it, you can lay all the blame at the feet of the United States and say, well, you're the one that started it. So the downstream effects of you doing, initiating this invasion is what caused all these deaths.
Estimated 200,000 civilian deaths.
Yeah.
In the conflict.
Yeah.
And so I think I'll put it like this: if the U.S. is to falter and lose, if the left were to win, if China or Russia were to win, history will write that the United States was an evil empire that committed serious atrocities, such as the massacring of hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians.
Well, I think they're going to write that regardless. But when you say
no, but hold on, they will. But if the United States wins in terms of culture and control, they're not going to let that narrative be the case.
Yeah. So that shows you that history is all fake, and I mean, it's his story. That's what they say. I mean, that's not even a conspiracy. That's like literally history.
It's not the etymology of history.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of hidden meaning in these words.
No, it's
Come on.
You're just trying.
Is it that crazy? His story.
Yes.
I mean, I think you could tie that together. That I think they connect enough.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know. Well, Tim's like, that's not the etymology of the word history. Of course, it's not. But it's just there's words have power, and I think that it's always his story.
How very postmodern of you.
Well, I mean, and listen, we're trying to have some philosophical debate about whether or not she called a Somali illegal immigrant the N-word, and did she get punished harshly?
Is it true the guy that she insulted is like a pedo or something?
Oh, yeah, he had been arrested for doing, I think maybe it was child abuse, allegedly. He had a record himself. But my point is, she actually won in this whole thing. She's got $800,000 GoFundMe. It was, so really,
Give, send, go. I think,
or give, send, go. I'm just saying, who's the victim in this? I mean, I guess maybe us.
She made like 43. It's like for the 200 hours of community service, she's actually getting like $4,300 per hour for the community service.
Yeah, it's 871,000.
Yeah, and she's gonna go to like a vet clinic or whatever and pet dogs for 200 hours or whatever.
So here's
Does look like a racist though.
But she's hot.
But then again,
she's hot. Though.
So does this whole end of the table.
Just that end of the table.
You look like the racist. You're the one that's erased that.
I look more racist than him. He looks old. This guy's like the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I got blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're suspect.
So listen.
He's a little more like
I'm black.
he's like a smart racist. He's the one.
I think I'm like 1% Jewish, so
You're what?
it makes me colored.
Did you hear? Actually, Nick Fuentes is a Sephardic Jew. We love Nick. Yeah, shout out Nick Fuentes. You didn't hear this?
No, I don't even.
See, we love Nick Fuentes on this show. Tim's a secret Nick Fuentes stan. He won't admit that. He won't and put this on the record. But yeah, allegedly he's in a beef with Sneeko, and then Sneeko said that Tim told him privately that that he's a Sephardic Jew. So everybody,
I don't know.
Reliable.
we love Nick Fuentes. Tim's
Here's the issue. So I'll explain it to Jason. The reason why she made so much money is because people were tired of cancel culture and people losing their jobs for being racist.
Well, and racist people probably gave her money too.
A ton of them.
Right, okay.
But the reason why you get to 800,
These guys, they gave her money for sure.
the reason why you get to 870,000 is because this video goes viral and a bunch of lefties were like, "Where does she work? Get her fired." So then people on the right said, "You know what? We're done with this. Let's raise her $1 million."
Did she get fired?
She might have.
But guys, didn't this show how dumb we are as a society when Carmelo Anthony's family gets like $1 million, GoFundMe or whatever, Gibson Go, and then buys a mansion? We'll give anybody our money if it just like makes us feel a little bit better about our political cause. Like it really kind of shows that we're retarded more than anything.
I saw the girl bouncing up and down in the
I don't think she
bathing
did get
suit.
fired from her job.
She did?
I don't think she
I
did.
don't think
no.
you get fired from being a stripper, but okay.
Wait, she's a stripper?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I was shot
Did you see the other?
But I see it.
You see it in her eyes.
She's definitely danced. I mean, she definitely has danced in her past. She's
The hand tattoo is pretty suspect.
Yeah, at one point she
I know. Yeah, anybody with like hand
You
tattoos.
can do it. You can say it.
Yeah,
Tim.
and
Go on.
face
I was
tattoos.
gonna say anybody. I find suspect.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, if you weren't molested, you're probably an evil person.
I think that
Kind of how this works.
people look at this girl and they think of Irina Zarutska and that dude. That
Well, this is before that.
I know.
Yeah, I've dated like 5 of her.
But like Zarutska's that blonde girl that got stabbed in the neck by the big black dude on the bus right before Charlie Kirk was killed, and it caused this massive inflammation of anger. And then this girl looks like her, so this is like the justice for Irina Zarutska.
Well, but Arena Zutra was after.
yeah, but it's
about
all
it?
they look the same.
You know, and this is going to sound insensitive to Arena, but I was watching this guy's going viral for it's called retard maxing. You know, where you just
yeah.
retarded. You guys have all
Great.
seen
I'm
this,
familiar.
right?
Yeah.
He's funny.
Imagine if Arena walked on that, that I think it was a train or whatever it was, a bus, and she was acting all crazy and she was acting all, crashed out. She probably wouldn't have got stabbed. My point is, it's like we almost need to act crazier to fight the crazy. That's how insane it is. Like when you go in a subway, like you're going to get stabbed if you just try to act like a normal person in society.
Well, haven't you seen Die Hard 2 or whatever when Sam Jackson walks up to McClane and he's wearing the sandwich board that says "I hate," and then he's like, "Act crazy now," and starts to go like,
And then people get scared. I'm saying
well,
it's
they beat him
almost-
up anyway. But
It's like that's the only way to fight the craziness of the world is to almost act crazy.
But you don't want to become truly crazy. That's the danger of doing that.
well, Ian would know. I mean,
The Andy
he's
Kaufman
gone to the
bit,
brink.
I
He's
do
written
it.
a lot of
I
manifestos
lived in
about
New
it.
York.
so-
I used to walk alone at night in New York with my jacket hunched over like I was going to murder somebody, just looking at people
yeah, I
like
did
a
that
psycho.
too.
And people would move out of my way and avoid me and be like, "That's not my
You're
target."
not doing that now.
Well, it became. I kind of like embodied that lifestyle. Now I'm
you
like,
got a full trench coat you showed up with.
In the summer,
I know, right?
July.
Became his personality by force. So like it was forced upon you because as a defense mechanism because New York is so dangerous.
Trying to find Noah's Ark with a whip or some shit. Yeah, good luck, dude.
It's funny.
What about a live whipping of the child? Not bad skin break, like, but
Whip the child.
like if she'd
yeah,
smacked
for
the
stealing.
With like a rubber hose,
Kid,
right?
the kid was stealing.
So it
and
doesn't
she
break the
smacked
And then
him.
if the lady she
would have
did the
bigger
N-bomb,
charges.
it's like, well, you go up after him for a couple of lashings.
Okay, so if the
The
kid,
N-bomb.
What if she
Let's bring
banged the
lashings
child?
back.
if they caught it on video and the kid was stealing out of her purse, this is all
Yeah.
on video, and she was like, "Hey," and smacked the kid,
There was no video though.
would she be in trouble for that?
Yes, what are you doing?
Yes, you can't.
What do you do if a person's stealing from you and
you grab the
massive
you, it's a child. You grab him and take the thing back
animal,
and
if it's a
and put
squirrel,
him on
if
his
it's
way.
a baby, if
What? Man,
Squirrel. Now we're charging squirrels.
A squirrel?
That's
Save
a good
the
point.
squirrels.
I didn't think of that. What if it was a squirrel?
You're
So,
equating
hey,
a
let's
child
debate.
to an
N-word
animal.
squirrel.
What kind of exactly? What color squirrel was it?
Right,
That's a
black.
good question.
What was it wearing?
I went to
The
Kent
black
State.
squirrel?
There were black squirrels all over campus. Yeah, the black squirrel.
The
was stealing
albino
your
squirrels are the real
Well,
rare ones. You ever seen
No,
those?
the albino squirrals are
I'm not
never
saying,
taking
like-
food from
peanuts.
anybody.
I'm not saying
those
like
albino-
smack the kid
Raccoons,
till
though, they
he
take.
break his face. I'm saying if she smacks his hand away from her purse.
You're assaulting a
Yeah.
child.
The kid's stealing.
I don't care about
No,
what
hold on. Wait.
Have your hands
Let's
in the
let's
thing.
wait,
It's
Phil,
not
Phil,
fair.
stop.
What if it's
17?
Okay, guys, I want to hear Ian on this. Ian, why do you think we should strike children?
What if it's 17-year-old kid, a child, stealing from your
17-year-old.
your wallet and you smack his hand away? Is that assault?
Yes.
What?
Why do you
No,
keep
not a
saying that?
17-year-old.
Smack a-
Jason.
my wallet and
Not
I'll
a
slap it out of your hand. That's
17-year-old.
assault.
No,
I steal your wallet and you smack it out of your wallet out of
It's
my hand.
assault
You
on-
get charged with
Yes.
assault.
No,
From
Jason,
stopping a
you're
theft.
talking
about.
Well, but if you shoot a attempted murder, you're okay.
Wait.
But if you slap a
It's just the
Where?
craziest
What?
shit all the
what
time.
you're saying, if you kill someone in
Which
self-defense,
is real?
it's
Like
fine.
that's a debate. What are you talking
You're
about?
saying that if you kill someone in self-defense, it's okay.
I didn't say kill. I said if you
It's
steal
pretty
my
well
wallet and I
documented.
Let's
hit you to get it back. You can press charges. You might not get them, but you. What about people that break into houses and get hurt?
that's like
Then
only
they
in
charge
California.
them?
That's like only in California where a guy fell
This is
through
an
like a
important thing.
guy's
Listen.
glass roof, and
Right,
then he got
Yeah, but
charged
if
because he got
dude,
cut.
wait,
when it
The
comes to
homeowner got
fighting,
charged.
you can't hit first.
This is an
That's what
important
I know.
distinction.
Stealing is
okay, Ian. Hold on. There are very few states.
not.
Ian, there are very few states that allows you to use force to recover property. I think Texas is
Yeah.
one of them. But I understand your argument. If a man came up to me to grab my stuff and I swung at him because he's stealing from me, yeah, I wouldn't want a person going to jail because he's being robbed. But yeah, actually, we've talked about this on the show. I think Texas might be one of the only states where you're allowed to use force against someone to recover property.
Is that after the fact? So if you catch them in the act, I imagine it's different than after the fact, going after them to get your property back.
You know, people
Well,
that
it depends,
security
actually.
at Target. If I steal something and they put their hands on me, I can charge them.
Yeah, it's
That's like-
nuts.
but it's not their property.
And there's a
But it doesn't.
distinction.
It's still. I'm just saying the law. Because I had a friend that was security at Target, and he said people would steal stuff, and he'd just walk out with them because he couldn't do anything. He wasn't allowed to put his hands on them. I'm like, what's the point of you being there? He's like, I don't know. I'm just telling you that's my job.
Now let's clarify the someone's going to kill you point. If you are only allowed to use force, lethal force, against someone if there is an active threat. Meaning, if someone shoots at you and misses and then throws the gun to the side, you can't shoot them. Only to stop them from
Right.
trying to
so
shoot
similar would be if they're in the process of trying to steal from you, as
can-
opposed
they're-
to they got your thing and they're running
you. Now
away.
you're defending yourself.
Yeah, if you're defending yourself from an attempted theft
like your purse.
or a kid stealing your applesauce, whatever, I don't care what it is. If it's your property and someone's taking it, whether they're a 6-year-old animal or a 40-year-old animal, I don't care. You have a right to defend yourself.
Horse.
Going after squirrels. Let's just
And
keep
your
them
property,
out of it.
Because humans are
They're
animals.
stupid
in this.
animals. Like,
Ian, I gotta be honest.
that.
If a seagull snatched your wallet and you just whacked it and
No
it
one would
died,
care.
no one would care. So
Actually,
the animal-
that's
the-
I disagree.
well-
If a bald eagle came and took your sub sandwich and you hit it, you
I said
Federal offense.
Yeah, but what if it took
yes.
you
Go to
to
federal
prison?
Mantis also.
People gonna be.
What if it takes
You're right. I just mean
come
like.
on.
What if it
you're not
takes
gonna
your
be-
wallet?
What if a
They're
bald
gonna-
eagle
for your
takes
video, they're gonna edit it where it looks like you just punched it for no reason.
Ian, if a bald eagle takes your
And-
stuff, you let that eagle take it.
If a bald
because
eagle takes your
let
ride
me
home?
let me finish. If a bald eagle takes something from you, you leave it alone because if you hurt that bald eagle, it is a federal offense and you will go to federal prison.
Yeah, but what if it's something you need?
Oh my god!
I did. It doesn't matter, dude.
It's your insulin.
you're
It's
saying
your diabetes medicine,
If
dude. It is your
goes-
diabetes
takes
medicine.
your livelihood away, you're like, just let it take it.
If you
Wait, a bald
listen,
eagle took your livelihood.
it takes your car keys.
it is a.
That's your life.
It is
It's
a.
your only ride, and you're 40 miles up into
Medication.
the
I think
mountain.
medication.
It is a.
You're like, just let it take it. That's the right thing to do. I'll
if you're on
walk
top of
home.
Mount Everest and you really
It is
needed
a
a ride.
federal offense. It is a federal offense to harm any kind of hawk, eagle,
migratory
anything.
birds.
What was that? Any migratory birds, right? So it is a federal offense that is covered under the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. And the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Police, they are armed to the teeth because they go out into the woods by themselves and they frequently run into people that have guns because they're going out there trying to enforce laws about hunting and stuff. You will go to federal prison if you hurt a bald eagle or a hawk or any kind of migratory bird.
But
So I have a question. What if the squirrel is trying to break into your house?
Squirrel's not a bird.
shoot it on sight.
Can you shoot on sight?
I think you
don't ask
actually can
questions.
shoot a
I
squirrel.
listen. I have
Shoot a squirrel like 9mm, just it vaporizes
Yeah.
I think
I have
you
shot
can
a
shoot
lot of squirrels in New Hampshire.
for breaking into your house.
Well, not for breaking in, but because they get
What color
into
were
my
the
house.
squirrels?
Let's not talk about that today.
But if you're out in the woods and the bald eagle takes your car keys,
All of your
you're
what ifs.
saying,
Listen, all of
are you saying you'll let the bald eagle take your property?
These are arguments. Listen, these are arguments.
You're actually insane.
You are insane. But these are arguments.
I'm saying I don't like the
Hold
key.
on.
I don't like the key analogy. But if they took my medicine, let's say they took my dad's diabetes.
These
medicine,
are arguments you make in court.
EpiPen, the guy's having a freaking.
When is this going? It's never going to happen. A bald eagle's not going to swoop down and steal your dad's diabetes medicine.
And listen, Ian, these are arguments that your lawyer will make in court, but it doesn't change the fact that you will be breaking a federal law, and the feds will have the authority to pick you up about it.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
Please don't ask another question from that answer.
Please.
It comes back to the same thing. He's going to say it again about the bird. Same rule applies the whole time. If you're a He-Man and the bird steals your sword, and now you can't have the power to be the master of the universe,
Kill the bird.
Shit, you cannot take the
You
bird.
just wave it
Thank
out.
you.
Let Skeletor win.
Thank you.
So you're saying,
Oh my God,
let's-
shut up.
You guys are saying let Skeletor win.
talk about something
It's
else.
the right thing to do.
Oh, please,
No,
Tim.
what I'm wondering is,
I want to
obviously-
debate politics
obviously it's
for the
illegal.
first time in my life.
It's illegal to
Anything
smack a thief.
No.
All right.
Okay,
We get it. We get it.
we're
Ian.
clear,
We-
but
we-
it's not necessarily the
Abortion.
wrong thing to do. That's my point.
Okay. Here's a story from Fox News. Chaos erupts. This House passes $1.15 trillion defense bill with Israel provision. Quote, stop stoking Jew hatred. Democrats and Republican skeptics join forces against Section 209, while transgender provisions further split the vote. I'm going to say this. The NDAA has the SAVE Act, the trans thing, the Israel thing. You are all insane. All members of Congress are insane. This is this is just the stupidest thing ever, and it shows we are completely dysfunctional when they're like, we're going to authorize the military to go to war and require IDs to vote and grant trans rights and also integrate our military technology with Israel. I'm just like, there's no Congress anymore.
Nope.
We're not actually passing bills.
Everything's an
It's just
omnibus.
what they're doing is they're getting the tiny bits from the bottom of the Play-Doh canisters and mashing them all together and then telling you they made a model of something and you're like,
Everything's
that's
an
not a
omnibus.
thing.
Yeah, I don't think our military is integrated enough with Israel's. I feel like we need to be more, like Benjamin Netanyahu needs to be like leading our troops. So I'm a little frustrated with the bill. I don't think it went far enough, personally.
The reality of what the Section 219 is they're looking to put the U.S. and Israel more in, because it's not integrating our militaries. It's at an what?
It's technology.
Yeah, it's integrating technology
and weapons.
But one of the biggest problems is if that because right now we've already got a lot of intertwined stuff with Israel and stuff. But
And
one of the
MI6 and Australia,
hold on. But the point is, if you intertwine things like that in the future, if there's some kind of problem, it's hard to undo it. Right, like it's not as easy because, like, look at the stuff that went on with Anthropic. Mike Benz was talking about this last night. The stuff that went on with Anthropic and the Department of War, right? Part of the reason, like, Anthropic is still working with the Department of War because they have programs that Anthropic's AI was involved in. They have to pull those things out. You can't just yank all of the Anthropic software out and replace it with new stuff because you're dealing with, like, sensitive topics. You're dealing with multi-level, multi-clearance programs and stuff like that. So to get that stuff out, it's a lot of work. And that's one of the worst things about the whole 219 thing is if you integrate like that, it gets real hard to take it out. And it's like, so we were talking about the Trump administration authorizing the Saudis to have nuclear reactors, right? Because so they can make nuclear power.
But what if a bald eagle comes?
I got my gun on me. I will shoot myself if you do that, Tim.
Unironically, I do want to make this point, and like, there's like the conspiracy side of it. It's like they've already been integrated. Now it's just kind of like, hey, look, now it's on paper, and they're gonna have access to our technology. But then I can also look at it unironically in favor of it because maybe it'll stop Israel from bombing Beirut. So maybe we'll have more control over them going into Lebanon or Egypt or Turkey. I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe now that we're more integrated.
Let me finish my point. The situation with Saudi Arabia that I was talking about, right? So the U.S. is talking about giving nuclear reactors to Saudi Arabia, which likely would lead to Saudi Arabia having nuclear weapons because it's a small step. The Trump administration, after Saudi Arabia signed the deal, they said, okay, now as a stipulation after the fact, you have to join the Abraham Accords and recognize Israel diplomatically, which means that the Saudis are probably going to say, no, we don't want to do the deal. And if you give Israel that kind of influence over that kind of integration with the military, those kind of things happen in the future. So there could be a deal that the U.S. is trying to do with the UAE that's beneficial to both parties. And Israel steps in and says, no, we don't want this because we don't like the UAE or we don't like this. And you don't want your country to have their sovereignty overridden by a third country. Like, that's something that the U.S. should be very, very wary of.
Live in a sovereign country?
Look, I'm not going to. That's not the argument we're having, right? I'm talking. Well, we're talking about 219. Do you want to change the subject?
No. I'm just saying.
Because you want to derail it. It's like Ian 2 over here.
Derail it, but I think it's germane to this whole entire thing. I'm just saying. I think there's an argument, and Tucker said it. And there's been multiple people who have said it. Do we live in a sovereign country?
Okay, so are you asking? Does Israel control our country?
Do they have
Are you asking if Israel? Just say it if you're going to say it.
No,
Okay, stop dancing around like a pussy.
Dude, I'm just saying. Listen, if somebody's going to say, Alex, the pharmaceutical lobbyists pay a lot more than AIPAC, that's probably true. But is our healthcare system good here in America?
No,
exactly. No,
okay, no. Actually, no. Hold on. The healthcare system in the United States is the best in the world. Paying for it's the problem. We make the vast majority of the advances, and we have the best service in the whole world. It's just that it's super expensive.
The U.S. makes
the vast majority of advances are made in the
under
U.S.
18.
When it comes to people that actually go to the doctor.
Have you been to the doctor?
Yeah.
You're saying it's excellent service?
It's better than anywhere else in the world.
Even
just because it's not
Nigeria had a
it's
low.
not perfect.
Let me make this point.
I have.
Yeah.
I was in Turkey. Whew.
But listen, Nigeria had a lower. Let me just make this point, though. They keep saying America has the best healthcare system. Nigeria had a lower COVID mortality rate than America.
We've already derailed and we're talking about COVID.
I'm just saying.
Look, the point that I'm making.
How is Nigeria better at handling COVID than America?
The point that I'm making is 219 is bad. The Section 219 of the NDAA is bad. We don't want to have other countries overriding deals that we're trying to do with third parties.
I agree.
So then why'd you derail the conversation?
I'm not trying to derail. I just think there's, other topics that are associated with this entire, topic.
So to your other point or the other comment that you implied because you were too much of a coward to actually say.
What, that Israel controls everything?
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Israel,
United States,
they donate to 95% of our
United States,
politicians and special interest groups. I think you just admitted this.
The United States is not a client nation to Israel.
Well, Bill Clinton wondered if that was true or not.
The United States, the United States is not a client nation to Israel. Israel does have overrepresentation in our government.
You just lost the debate.
Only because you yell.
I'm just saying.
Look at, I can yell too.
Hold on there. Hold on, Alex. I gotta say, Phil can yell way better than you.
I agree.
Yeah, he loses
better voice than me. I can't yell. I'm just saying they're over integrated. So
so there's a difference.
I'm not saying that they run the government, but
that's what you literally just said. That's why I specifically asked you. I specifically asked you, and I called you names about it.
Okay, hold on.
It's an overgeneralization.
You said something crazier than that. You said, "Do we have a sovereign nation?"
Sometimes it doesn't seem like we do. Honestly,
why?
Because it seems like special interest groups.
No, hold on. Special interest groups don't. If you have like a pharmaceutical lobby, you're still a sovereign nation. But when you say "are we a sovereign nation," you're implying another government has power over us.
Yes, because what I think America's leading the charge of globalism, and we bring up Alex Jones. We talked about this for years. I'm an anti-globalist, and I think America is leading the charge in globalism. So once we make that our objective, to be the global leader of the world, it makes us less sovereign. That's my argument.
What's wrong with globalization?
Are you kidding? I mean, what's wrong with
asking you a question so you can explain yourself? Why are you mad?
Because I get frustrated because
I didn't say it was for globalization.
Because America should be America. We don't need to be America, Mexico, and
you
Canada.
Think
and so I don't. So our sovereignty.
This is the important question because what you're saying is you don't want everything to be one nation.
Of course.
Because there's other interpretations of globalization is just an like an umbrella.
Do you like the euro? You like the euro?
I didn't say I was in favor of all of this. My point is, some people would argue that globalization is more like there was an international adjudicating body for disputes. America would remain sovereign within its own borders, and Mexico would. But instead of war, you have lawsuits.
Yeah, but it's funny because that same lobby that you're insinuating considers Benjamin Netanyahu a war criminal, and then Mayor Mamdani. And I'm not even trying to get on that thing says, oh, I want to arrest him. I'm not saying Netanyahu should be arrested, but I'm saying we do have these governing bodies. These.
So you're an anti-Semite.
No,
I'm saying I'm not. I'm saying we have
no
multinational governing bodies that we don't listen to. So it's all
Alex,
fake.
Bro, New York is a rogue state. At this point.
Alex,
not even an exaggeration.
The Secretary of State just last week came out and specifically made a statement saying that the International Criminal Court has no jurisdiction in the United States. When the Secretary of State comes out and says that, that means the policy of the United States is we don't give a shit what you think.
Yeah, well, I like Marco Rubio, but his shoes don't fit. So that's.
But Zoran Mamdani should be in jail.
For what?
Violating the Logan Act.
For what? For trying to put another foreign
Putting a
leader
public statement out saying that first of all, he threatened to arrest Netanyahu several times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like Netanyahu. I've said several times he's got to go.
A lot of people in Israel don't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think Israel would be better off without him. But Zoran Mamdani, as a mayor, issued a statement, a threat of force against a foreign dignitary, which is a violation of the Logan Act, explicitly. Mm-hmm. He should be arrested and charged for it. We cannot have mayors threatening U.S. foreign policy. That we can't have that.
We probably shouldn't have presidents doing crypto scams either. But some rules for you, not for me. I mean, you know what I mean.
Okay,
I'm just
saying, I'm saying like whether it's Trump or Blanche.
Left turn.
You have there's different rules for people in power than you and I. Is what I'm trying to would be my argument. I know you want to charge.
You've not addressed the argument at all.
You want to say that he should be charged for the Logan Act. Well, he's a mayor of New York
I would
City,
not.
So
Yeah, exactly. He's a mayor.
But they're going to say, oh, well, he's speaking hyperbolically. And
no, he's not.
Well, that's what they're.
Are you joking?
That's what they're going to say.
He's been issued several statements.
Okay, do you think he's going to face any sort of legal?
Of course not, because we were in a nation of cowards.
We agree.
We used to be a nation of conquerors. Now we're a nation of cowards. Oh, but Zoran said. But if I arrest him, people will get mad at me.
Listen, I'm just telling you, I think America is leading the charge of globalism, and I'm anti-globalist.
Of course, they've always been. It's called the liberal economic order.
So when you guys say, oh, do we live in a sovereign country? That's why that would be my argument to that.
But our nation conquering other nations doesn't mean we're not sovereign.
No, actually, I think us conquering other nations takes away our sovereignty, right? Like Puerto Rico, adding, yes, giving them. Should Puerto Ricans have the right to vote?
No.
Well, hold on, I have a question. They do have the right to vote.
Well, I'm saying, should they be the 51st state, or should DC be the 52nd state? Is the point I'm trying to make.
The U.S. have returned Mexico after the war?
The Mexican America or the Texas Mexican War?
We took the West to the California, but we gave back large portions like Baja California. Should we have kept it?
Probably not. We should probably give them some. I like big booty.
We should not have kept it.
I'm saying I like big booty Latinas.
Should we give California back?
Not necessarily, but I will tell you.
Why shouldn't Puerto Rico?
I think we should give immigration rights to Mexicans over Mumbai Indians that are using H-1B visa scams. So I'm more pro-Mexican than
None of that. End all immigration. For 10 years.
You know, I know.
Big booty Latinas.
Oh no,
Latinas
I'm for
well.
that, especially Australia.
But I'm saying, but Phil, can we not argue though that a Mexican from the Baja has at least a little more claim to America than somebody from Mumbai?
Only Americans born in America to American parents, in my opinion, have any sort of claim to the United States. There is a slew of people that we saw last summer protesting ICE, waving Mexican flags, saying that they hate America and they protest ICE. Those people have no claim to America. Even if they're first generation Americans or if they're illegal immigrants, they have no claim to America. At all.
I'm just saying, I feel like, the Mexican has a little more claim than somebody from India. That's
what do I have any claim?
Were you born in America?
See? No. Boom.
Are you an American? Are you a citizen?
Well, but hold on. You are white.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for.
Are you a citizen?
Okay.
Are you a citizen?
Green card.
You have a green card? Well, then you don't have a claim to America because you're not a citizen.
You should be deported. He thinks you should be
You
deported.
guys should be deported?
Because I said all illegal immigrants.
Okay, well, but
now you're splitting hairs trying to change what I said because
I feel
it was
like as a person that came
immigrant
to this country, and struggled,
immigrant,
and I'll give you one more and then we'll see.
Fighting.
I've seen you fight, dude. Just shut up.
Okay.
Anyway, I came here legally.
I did win that fight,
and I had to get. Sure. I had to get I had to get lawyers, and I had to get people to write me letters. My job, that I was the only person that could do the job, and I just so happened to fill a spot that was not a spot that anyone else was taking. Like, it was pretty serious. I had a child here, and they were like, we don't really care about that. What are you doing here? And I had to, like Tony Hawk wrote me a letter and said he's the guy for the job. And that was a lot. Lawyers and all I went in, and then they gave it to me. It was a big deal. It was very hard, not to mention all the things I did to get to that spot, to have the money to have a lawyer, to let me have a green card, for athlete visas for 12 years before that. I had was it a P3, I think? I can't remember. P1. Anyway, so all that to get in here legally. Yeah. Someone else just walks over. There is a part of me that goes, hey, man, like, I never did. There were guys in skateboarding that did come here and tried to stay illegally because they couldn't get the money for the thing. And then they got caught crossing the border, 7-year ban. And I was like, well, we knew that. So if you do that, that's your fault. Nobody was like, the government's mean for sending you back. Like, we knew you get caught with no visa, 7 years. Like, but that's your skateboard career. You're putting that on the line.
Yeah, P visas are athletes.
Yeah, so I had a 6-year one twice, and then I got a green card. But to get a P1 visa from a skateboard company, I was top 5 in the world, like really in there. And they're like, all right, we'll take care of him. But you know how hard it was to get that?
Yeah.
Like, so there was a piece of me that's like, you guys, you need to go in legally. That's it. Too bad. Do you know how bad their lives are? I don't. You know, and mine wasn't. I wasn't in poverty. Nobody was trying to murder me in Australia. It was pretty. I probably could have got a job. It's pretty cheap.
It's probably P1.
It's P1. That's
P1 is athletes, individual athletes.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember thinking one of the coolest at the time. That was the coolest thing that I'd done in my life. I had a P1 visa, so when I'd go to Australia, people were like,
"That's a big deal.
I can go whenever I want." How? Athlete visa, mate.
Well, so it means, but P1 means you're internationally recognized as a top tier athlete in your field.
That's
a big deal.
Because I remember all the letters that everyone had to write. Because I just remember thinking I'll go in with my wife and my daughter, and it'll be done. And they were like, this doesn't mean anything to us.
I know a lot of people who skate and they got O visas, and that just means extraordinary ability. So
wait, there's an O visa?
Yeah. But so just understand, when you got a P visa, they're basically saying you're one of the best in the world.
I was.
Yes.
A lot of people want to argue that these days on YouTube chat, but it's because I'm old. So like my credentials.
YouTube chat, they're terrible.
I know.
They're the worst.
It pays me, but it also chips away at my. It's good for me. I like being insulted because it's like you're nothing. You know what I mean? And I go on YouTube chat to be refreshed that every day, just in case you thought you were special.
Your ego in check.
You're not.
Nope, you suck.
Yeah.
I get it all the time.
Yeah, you're worse than.
Yeah, but I'm very much in favor of legal immigration.
Yeah.
And
I'm not. I think legal immigration is worse.
You think I should go?
Yeah, probably. Because you took a job from an American skater, you know, they're probably good.
Man.
There's an American skater.
It was on the table. If you beat me, you can have it. But looks like you can't. Suck a butt.
Well, the reason why I say that is because literally what's happening with our H-1B visa scam, it's like, you know,
but so I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. I'm saying that we need to have a proper legal immigration.
Yeah, if you come here legally, of course, I'm not against that. But I do think people are cheating this.
You're saying no immigration?
I want to end all immigration for like a decade, so that way the people that are here can assimilate.
Yeah, but what about like the white people that could come?
Tough titty.
What about the next P1 athlete from Australia?
So I think that if you, well, first of all, the process takes a long time, but I don't think the point that I'm making is I want the people that are here to be able to become Americans, right? I want them to assimilate into our culture. I don't like the idea of places that are like enclaves, like you hear about where it's like this area is like, you know, it's predominantly this culture and they don't want to be Americans. For the vast majority of our history, people that came to America, they came here and they wanted to become American, right? You hear stories about the Ellis Island immigrants, right? Their parents would come from the old country and they had kids here, and their kids, they'd be like, you have to speak English because you want to become an American. If you're just coming to the United States because if you're looking for essentially the way I described it yesterday is like, if you're looking for the United States to save you, right? Like, I don't think that the United States actually, I know the United States cannot save everybody that's in a destitute situation somewhere else in the world.
How do you know if they're looking to be saved?
Well, if you come to the United States and you get on some social programs right away, that's a good indicator. But the point that I'm making is we've had long stretches where immigration was ended from after the Ellis Island wave came. We had like no immigration until like the 60s or something like that.
What about if you're a contributor? So that sounds like you'd be okay with that. If you can prove that you're somebody that's like building some new car or some plane, or he's got some sort of food thing that he's figured out that's gonna make it easier and make us more money as a country. Like, yeah, you can have a visa. Like you're contributing, like a great doctor, great scientist.
If you're talking
if they're
about
from Sweden or whatever, would you be okay if they moved here?
If you're talking about like a quota system where there's like, okay, there's going to be 100,000 people that can get in. Okay. Right. Like
Can you really answer that question that I just asked you though?
Well, the point is, if you're going to get if you're going to be on the quota system, there'd have to be justification. So it'd have to be like, so yes, if it's someone that's got, someone that's a doctor or someone that has some kind of special talent.
Here on the burden, coming in and being a burden to this country, I see it's not fair for us. But it's also the arguments where it's like, yes, these people come in and take stuff that I could have had. Like he thinks I took someone's job.
Well, Somalians actually take like 87% of like social services in the state of Minnesota.
Right, but how much money is? I know this is not. I'm arguing with another argument. So, but that seems to be a thing that people do. But is that the biggest hole that the country's taking? Is
well, shouldn't that go to like American vets or like?
Well, no. So check it out. Here, I'll give you one example. Is that the latest assessment? I think it was a government assessment. Housing is 30% more expensive because of mass migration over the last 6 years.
Yeah.
30%. Yeah.
And so
when you say mass migration, is that a particular country or is it everybody?
Everybody.
Everywhere.
And
everybody
in general, but it was illegal immigration.
There was a long time.
So
where
it is a particular then.
No, well, no.
No.
So a lot of people. That's the point.
Wait, guys. This is important for me to say to Jason. We had people from Eritrea flying to Brazil, and then Eritrea, Eastern Africa, and they would fly across Africa, then like West Africa, then fly to Brazil, then take a train, like ride trains and travel up to the southern border of the United States. This was there were Somalis, there were Iranians, there were Chinese. It was not Mexico.
Wait, there's another border.
Mexicans don't like the.
Mexico offered all of these people asylum to stay in Mexico, and they said
they
no.
come through Mexico.
Okay. And they come through Mexico because the southern border is so porous, especially.
And so what happens is they say there's a housing shortage, and there's a low skill labor shortage because you have estimates between 10 and 20 million illegal immigrants coming since from 2021 to 2020.
All right, well, based on what you've just told me, then yeah, I'm with you.
But
I'll pull it up for you.
But I don't think.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, you're okay with immigration if it's good people, contributors?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we were talking about this yesterday a little bit. Like the United States has always been a place that attracts people that have an "I can do this" attitude.
Me.
Right? Yeah, particularly.
That's me.
But like, because historically, especially before before 1945, right? Before a lot of air travel became common, so before 1950, to get on a ship and go the 2-week trip and go to the United States with nothing, you have to have a certain amount of belief in your own agency. Mm-hmm. You have the ability, you're the kind of person that thinks, I'm going to happen to America, as opposed to people that stay where they are and are, bummed out about their circumstances. If you stay in a bad circumstance, there's a part of you that feels like the world happens to me. And it's described as believing that you have agency or believing that you don't have agency. If you're the kind of person that constantly thinks this bad thing happened to me, this bad thing happened to me, this bad thing happened to me, that's someone that believes that the world happens to them. If you're the kind of person that says, well, I'm going to do this bad thing happened, so I'm going to do this, so I'm going to do that, you believe you have agency. You believe that your actions impact the world, right? As opposed to believing that the world impacts you. So if you're going to get on a boat and come all the way over to the United States, you know, when it was hard, like really hard, it wasn't just get on an airplane, but it was really hard, you generally had the idea of, I happen to the world. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to do this. And that's the kind of people that the United States has historically attracted.
It can be both. Like, I definitely had that mindset. I came here to be the best pro skateboarder in the world, and I was pretty sure that was going to happen. And then when I saw Tony Hawk skate, I was like, oh, shit. And he took that away from me, where I was like, the world is against me because the world made Tony Hawk.
Son of a bitch.
And you can't beat that guy. It ruined my whole plan. I was like, oh, second will do.
Check this out. This is from DallasFed.org. It says a back-of-the-envelope calculation suggests that unauthorized immigrant worker flows can explain about 30% of the total growth in house prices and 20% of total growth in rents over the boom period for the average local market. So yeah.
And you were talking about, you know, you were alluding to Social Security as well, or what kind of cost it is. The biggest driver of our debt is Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Right. And Social Security it does cover people that, you know, retire, but it also covers a boatload of other services.
I just want to make sure I clarify, because it mentioned the boom period. It did state it said UIWF, which is an acronym for unauthorized immigrant worker flows, and the boom period is defined as early 2021 to early 2024,
which is Joe Biden's. Joe
Whoa.
Biden. Yeah, that's
in
so 4 years.
Bro, let me show you. I'm gonna show you a video. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna show you a video. Keep talking.
Wait,
the point that hold on.
California, because it was so crazy.
I didn't move because of any of that.
But the prices are.
Can you not tell that I don't know or watch what any of you guys talk about right
Neither
now?
does
I've
Alex.
never been more focused.
Yeah,
in my entire life,
I do.
Just to stay in the conversation. I don't listen to any of it because my opinion is both sides will, F your mother for the money. Like,
Bro,
they don't care about you. So just go make the most of your life.
I'm gonna ask that no one in this room say anything, and just to let Jason watch this video with no comment.
Wait, did that tractor open that? Is that what that's doing?
Yes.
See, these are all Mexicans, right?
No. So here.
not?
So now let me explain to you what this is. Texas laid concertina wire and put up fences to protect the border.
Yeah.
Joe Biden ordered the DHS, CBP, and ICE to send a forklift to break through the fence, lift up the wire, and allow illegal immigrants to enter the country in violation of our laws.
I don't believe you.
It's true.
And look at the family at the bottom. Does that
You don't believe it?
I'm glad you're saying that, though, because it's so shocking. People don't believe it.
It went to the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
It went to our Supreme Court.
Open the fence with a tractor?
Yes.
Yeah, because Texas said your responsibility, federal government,
here you go,
is
here you
to
go.
man the border.
From the American Immigration Council, Biden administration can remove Texas razor wire barrier at the border. Supreme Court rules. So the Texas State Guard was trying to keep illegal immigrants out, and the Biden administration illegally, in violation of our laws as the executive, sent forklifts to lift up the razor wire to allow them to enter our country.
What would be the purpose of that?
to
So
vote in our elections?
okay, no.
Wait.
No, let me give you the real
wait,
answer.
Mr. Pratt.
Wait, those guys are going to vote?
No.
Well, they can get a
Let me
legal
give you the real
ballots in
answer. I'll
California.
give you the real
I
answer.
want the real answer.
There's two. The first is that our population is not growing. And so in order to maintain a welfare system like Social Security, you need to increase the labor market. The Democrats' solution to this was to bring in 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants so that we have a massive new tax base. The second issue is that these people were then shuttled by the Biden administration via plane and bus into urban centers so that in the census, in the upcoming census in 2020, late 2020, 2021, I'm sorry, this is going to be 2030, you have people who cannot vote but count towards the Electoral College in Congress. So
I don't understand.
The way our
all right, so let me explain. Let me explain.
6,600 illegal
Okay, can I explain,
aliens in
bro?
New Jersey that can vote.
In a city like
I like
Austin.
Angry Tim. He's fun.
Well, I'm trying to
No, I know,
explain
he's
something
very
very
annoying.
serious, and you guys are derailing.
Sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
775,000 people will constitute one congressional seat. It doesn't matter if those people vote or not. The census tracks how many people live in various areas and then draws a congressional district. For every congressional district and Senate seat, you get one electoral college vote for the president. So these individuals don't vote, but it doesn't matter
Tim, they just found 6,600.
Bro.
No, but they just found 6,600
Shut
in New
up,
Jersey.
dude.
He's close to solving.
I'm literally explaining that someone who's never heard it before, and you're derailing.
You're saying that illegal
Just,
immigrants don't
please,
vote. You're saying
please,
illegal immigrants don't vote. They
please.
do vote.
I've hit my head so many times, Alex. I won't.
This is
remember
why
anything
you know
say.
why I'm so mad about what you're doing. This is why you can't explain to liberals what's really going on, because you jump in, derail the conversation in the middle of the most important
You
part.
just said illegal immigrants don't vote. In New Jersey, they just got caught giving ballots to now 20,000.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Let him get
Anyway,
there.
anyway.
That's why we can't
No,
have
no,
nice
no,
things.
Tim,
No, listen,
come on.
Alex. First of all, I'm getting to that point, and I need to explain the basics of illegal immigration to someone who's never heard it before. You are then derailing when a point I said is the 10 million people are not voting.
Okay.
6,600 were registered to vote. We're not there yet.
Okay. Well, they said it's more than 6,600.
Indeed, 35,000. But again, the point is this.
I'm going to choke you out.
When conservatives do this all the time, a liberal says, I don't believe you. And then a conservative starts screaming on January 6th, this. And then you're like, guy, this person's never heard that Joe Biden opened the border. And you're jumping into Supreme Court MCV glitches. You are jumping the gun so far into the conversation.
Tim, you literally said illegal immigrants can't vote, and we.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But if you would shut up for 2 seconds, I said, these people coming in don't vote. And the important thing for people to understand
New Jersey.
is, right, this is why conservatives lose. Because when you go into the records, you will find, we found 400 illegal immigrants who voted, 400. Mm-hmm. There's estimates of more, but it is not what is meaningful to how they are destroying the political system in this country. And conservatives are too many of them are first order thinkers who, this is what happens. Donald Trump comes out and goes, illegal immigrants are voting. And then they go, prove it. And you can't. Because what they're really doing is, and see, Alex doesn't understand this. And this is why we lose.
Clearly.
This is why we lose. You take 10 million people.
Yeah.
You are going to create about 7 to 8 congressional seats. It doesn't matter if they vote or not. You have created 7 or 8 congressional seats that a Democrat will win from the American votes.
Let me explain.
That member
Because
of Congress.
This is because of a census. This is all because.
Can you just stop?
Well, let me augment what you're saying as you're going.
Can you just stop so I can finish what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I feel like we could finish it quicker together, but go, please.
Right. I've already explained congressional apportionment, and y'all just, okay. We drop congressional seats. We have 435.
Yeah.
And then we have 100 Senate seats. Senate is determined by every state gets 2. That's done no matter what.
Yeah.
But if we put 300,000 illegal immigrants in Austin and then spread them out between 3 congressional districts, we guarantee 3 more Democrats in Congress.
Wait, they're without voting, they're automatically the vote is for Democrat?
So here's how it works. If you
How does it go
Right.
Democrat or Republican?
let's say you have 400,000 Democrats.
Yeah.
A congressional district is going to be 775,000 people. If we put in 300,000 non-citizens who cannot vote and we draw the district around them, you only need a small portion of Democrats to guarantee a Democrat seat because the illegal immigrants can't vote. Get it?
How the fuck does that work?
So let's say you have 775,000 Americans and it's 50-50 Democrat and Republican. It's a tough race. So let's say we then take 100,000 illegal immigrants, put them next in this area, and then say, we have 100,000 extra people. We then draw the congressional district to cut out the 100,000 Republicans. You now have 35% Republican, 45% Democrat, and 100,000 non-voters. You have just created a Democrat district by doing so. Oh. This is what they're doing with illegal immigration in major cities, so that in Texas, you get more Democrats. Now, here's the crazy part. We don't choose our president by popular vote. We choose them by electoral college. So if California is getting extra congressional seats because they have illegal immigrants being counted in the census, California gets extra votes for the president. Indeed. Now, to Alex's point, New Jersey just found 35,000 non-citizens registered to vote. And they found 400 of them voted. The reason why, and I apologize for getting mad, and I apologize to everybody.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I get mad is you jumped over the real issue, which is
congressional districts. Yeah, I get that.
20 million people in this country are giving Democrats an estimated 10 to 20 extra congressional seats. And that means when our Congress votes on a law Democrats are overrepresented by allowing illegal immigrants into the
And it's
country.
not
And I agree
always-
that's a bigger problem, Tim, than necessarily 6,000, illegal immigrants voting. But I'm just saying, somehow they do find loopholes to illegally vote, and
And
that's
they
what-
do, but it's not the real issue.
Yeah, I agree.
The real
I
issue is
agree
that,
on that. I'm just
if,
saying they do
if
both
we,
sometimes.
Trump tried to make it so the census had a question on it, are you a U.S. citizen? And he got blocked by lawsuits. If we were to remove every illegal immigrant from the census, Republicans would have like a 30-seat majority, and Republicans would win every election. Every law would be passed by Republicans. Democrats basically would be a non-existent party.
And they
Isn't
said it happened
isn't
after
that what's
Ronald.
happening right now?
Well, they
No,
said they said
it's
that,
split almost 50-50.
and this all
Even
happened.
though the Republicans are in charge?
The Republicans control the Senate by a tiebreaker vote, essentially, which is the
can't
vice
just
president.
call it?
So they can't because they need 60 votes to put things through.
Oh, but it goes the other way, then they just stop each other. That's the whole point, right?
Not really.
The whole point would be if we didn't have illegal immigrants, the political parties would be a moderate Democrat party and a moderate Republican party. But
I don't know if that's true because when they started this whole immigration thing was after Ronald Reagan won 49 out of 50 states. That's when they started the push.
California was a Republican state until they granted mass amnesty to illegal immigrants, and it functionally So California is interesting as a state. What happened was a bunch of illegal immigrants were brought in. Those illegal immigrants have kids. Those kids are American citizens. The state in the late 80s, early 90s said, we're no longer going to allow illegal immigrants to get access to public welfare. The illegal immigrants' children revolted and voted to give welfare to non-citizens. So this is the problem with mass migration. All of these people we see coming in illegally, they can't vote. But what they can do is take U.S. dollars and send them back to other countries, stripping the economy. They can take jobs that were normally taken by 16, 17, and 18-year-olds, and they're going to pad Democrat districts, creating more districts specifically for Democrats.
What about the argument of people will not do the jobs they do?
This is not. It's
any truth to
fabricated
Obviously,
completely.
you would have to pay us more than what they would get, and would
No.
that do anything?
It's
Well,
just
you're saying
completely
no?
fabricated. In
You don't
Trump's,
think, you think
it's a
just
fact.
A bunch of 16, 18-year-olds will pick fruit and shit?
Yes, it's a fact that they will.
same amount of money?
When Donald, yes, because they get.
I'm
20,
not-
No. Listen,
I'm
listen.
asking. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's $20 an hour. So you go to a
bad.
16-year-old and say you want $20 an hour to pick strawberries. They say yes. When in Donald Trump's first term, they raided a bunch of meat processing plants in southern states. They mass deported in like one weekend 800 illegal immigrants, and the very next day, lines were out the door from locals trying to get jobs in the meat processing plants.
No shit.
The reason, and for the same wages. And a reporter interviewed one of the guys. It's like a white redneck looking dude. And they're like, why would you want to work at this job? This is a job Americans don't want. And he goes, I work at a gas station. This pays more. So what's happening is, you want to know why they want to bring these illegal workers in? The political reason is to create more, to put in more workers for a bigger tax base, to create more Democrat districts. But more importantly, a lot of these companies, you know what they'll do? They bring in an illegal immigrant, tell them we're going to pay you $2,000 at the end of the month, and then the day before the month ends, they call ICE and have them deported and pay them nothing.
That's how I got my freaking kitchen fixed. I just had a bunch of ICE agents arrest all the Somalians
So,
when they're done.
so here's what frustrates me. Trump comes out and says there's millions of illegal immigrants voting, and there aren't. And then conservatives say things like Soros is paying protesters. He's not. These
You don't
things
think
are
protesters are organized and paid
they are not.
through Facebook groups. Tim, I go to these protests.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about.
We could argue this all day.
You are wrong.
Not every single protester
I know.
paid $100, but the people
Exactly.
that organize them.
I
the
didn't say
people
that. See, you're changing the subject now.
So you don't think these protesters?
Protesters are not paid.
Okay, so Tim, now we're arguing semantics. The people that organize the protests are being paid.
This is why you can't effectively communicate with moderates.
But would you agree?
This is why
that the
conservatives
people that
lose all
are
the time.
Organizing
Yes.
the protests on the Facebook groups that I
Indeed.
see.
Man, I gotta start
Instagram,
watching this show. It's
Yep.
pretty
I'm
fun.
saying they are getting paid. Those people are
They
getting
do
paid.
this all the time.
And that's why I said
can, yeah.
protesters are not getting paid.
Well, some of them are.
The organizers are not protesters because they don't go out and get arrested. They stand back, put out flyers, trick people into coming down who don't get paid. And this is what conservatives do. They go to a group of liberals and say, protesters are getting paid. And then they all go, where's my Soros check? Because they're not getting paid. There are organizers that work for nonprofits that have salaries for those nonprofits who go to universities and flyer to create protests and don't go to them. They make them happen. They rally them. and they are not the ones that are on the ground leading these protest marches.
Well, I'm just saying they're inorganically encouraged
Correct.
protests.
So when you go to a liberal holding a sign at a protest who was tricked into being there, and then on Fox News, Hannity goes, they're being paid by Soros. You immediately have isolated yourself from them. This is what Hannity did during Occupy Wall Street. And this is I told Steve Bannon this. Andrew Breitbart was at the CPAC. And there's a famous video where he's standing out screaming at the protesters, "You're all a bunch of animals. You're a bunch of animals." It went massively viral, and it rallied Occupy protesters against conservatives. It is the utmost of ignorance and stupidity that these conservatives do. And I have to wonder if they're deep state when they do. If the intention is to make sure moderates can never get access to the truth. Because when you go to them and say, illegal immigrants are voting, they say, no, they're not, and you can't prove it. So when I say Joe Biden got forklifts to lift up concertina wire to allow millions of illegal immigrants for a specific purpose, and you cut me off to change the subject, that is frustrating.
Well, I think people can walk and chew gum at the same time, so I think people could think two things at once.
I was at Occupy Wall Street, and do you know what everyone said after Hannity had on these people saying they're paid by Soros? Every single protester started laughing and mocking Fox News because nobody was getting paid. And thus, the conservatives who were there at Occupy on the first weekend, who were holding up American flags, left. And then Mitt Romney comes out and says, we are the 47% of people who actually pay taxes, creating the 47% movement. And all of a sudden, what was once a large protest that had libertarians, conservatives, and liberals together was literally just leftists. That's it. The first weekend, second weekend of Occupy, an elderly couple brought a couch, put it down, put an American flag behind them. And they said that they were Republicans and conservatives that were angry that Barack Obama bailed out the big banks, they bailed out the automotive industry, but they don't bail out the Americans. Conservatives sitting with liberals and hippies and libertarians. Luke Rudkowski was there. Anarchist.
I was there.
Ian was there. All different sorts. Sean Hannity goes on TV and says they're a bunch of wackaloon lefties paid by Soros. All the conservatives left.
Well, I think that, obviously that's like propaganda and people fell for
a video,
propaganda.
a photo emerged of a guy taking a dump on a squad car. Hannity shows that photo and says, look at these disgusting people.
I don't want to be associated with that as a Republican.
And then everyone left.
No,
yep.
I get it.
And so there I was trying to be like, no, we all agree. They stole public tax money to bail out banks and corporations for themselves. Didn't matter anymore. The conservatives all left because of the Soros argument. And the truth is, there were individuals working there who were paid from nonprofits that had received funding from Open Society, and their intention was to kick out the conservatives and foment leftism.
Well, isn't that the real conspiracy at the end of the day, Tim? Because there's culture war issues that we will never agree on, that we'll always be split on. But I would argue, that most of us are in the middle somewhere, and that they don't want us to come together. They want us fighting each other over George Floyd or
That's why
Hendrix, because
this is why when I showed this video, I asked, no one say anything. I wanted Jason, who's never seen this stuff, just to see this video. And then when we said the Biden administration, the executive branch, deployed that forklift to raise it up, he said, I don't believe you. And that's exactly what I was hoping the reaction to be, so that I could then show that this literally was the Biden administration being authorized under the Supreme Court to tear down our barriers and allow people to illegally enter the country. When I go and talk to regular people about this stuff, they say the same thing Jason does. You're lying. That can't be possible. There's no way law enforcement would do it. They lie about everything.
Elizabeth Warren says it.
But again, when people say things about me to you, they are lying. And this is why. If the American people knew that Joe Biden did this en masse, if a broadcast went out to 100% of Americans that showed this video and said this is what they were doing, you'd have a Republican revolution overnight. Americans would be like, this is insane. What if these
Except
people
for the
are...
one part where nobody wants to, even if it's true, if you're on that side, not everybody, but a huge part is they're just going to go with it to win their argument. You know, if it's one side or the other, this video that comes out tomorrow and goes, this is what they're doing right now. The side that's on his side is, like I said, I find that very difficult to believe. Maybe somebody told you that, but I find that video, whatever they told you about that video, is incorrect information, because why would a president let all the illegal people in? What was the point in the fence in the first place?
Let me ask you a question. If I told you that Joe Biden was trafficking children on planes in the middle of the night, would you believe me?
Not at all.
All right, let's pull it up.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay, because here's a thing where this is a big one, because this is My best friend in skateboarding, the last time I spoke to him, and this was over 5 years ago, we have not spoken. We had a conversation, and
Is NBC trustworthy?
He said that, and I started laughing at him. And he said, I could send you proof. And I said, I bet you could, but it doesn't make it real. And he was like, I don't have time for you anymore, dude. And I was like, okay, bye. And we've never spoken. I remember thinking, he really lost it on the whole news thing. You know what I mean? Like, why would a president approve of, and you're about to show me something?
Read it.
What do you mean, read it?
You're describing ignorance. The definition of it.
Is NBC News, NBC New York is a good enough source?
This was on the news.
Yes, sir. Here's more than 2,000 migrant children have been flown to New York since June, landing at Westchester County Airport in White Plains. As many in the area say, the Biden administration has failed to answer questions regarding what is going to happen to them next. 2 senior U.S. officials confirmed the flights to the New York area have increased as the number of migrants, minors in many cases, coming to the country's southern border. I'll pull up more for you.
It's so crazy that they
Marsha Blackburn was furious
into the country.
Wait,
from the border.
The ICE
how do you know they were
the ICE agents and
There's
customs agents?
there are leaked videos, but this is all
leaked videos of what?
of the airplanes landing and kids being shuffled off and people
Shuffled off where?
off of the airplanes.
To where?
We actually have a whole documentary about
They were
that.
being trafficked.
But if you don't know where, then why are you
Unaccompanied
saying-
minors being in Westchester, New
Sounds
York.
like you're saying for sex.
Well,
Human
trafficking doesn't mean
I
sex.
But human
Trafficking means labor.
of children.
Trafficking means labor.
Right, but why kids? What work?
It's a good question. I don't know.
They can't speak about it.
When the problem is when we point this out, it's on NBC and demand investigations. The left comes out and says you're white supremacists, you're lying, and blocks the investigations.
Is this the same to have these children smuggled in? Is this for the same plan of having them move somewhere where they get that vote thing?
For the minors, this is likely related to padding the labor numbers for Social Security. We don't have enough kids. Our birth rate is like 1.3 or 1.4.
Yeah.
So Gen Alpha is about 42 million people. Gen Z and millennials are about 70 to 80 million. This means the coming workforce is half the size of what it needs to be. Marsha Blackburn published this on her .gov website. Blackburn, Haggerty, Fleischman speak out against Biden administration trafficking migrant children to Tennessee. This was a major scandal where in the middle of the night, the Biden administration was trafficking kids illegally. Like, this is seditious. This is it's horrifying. It's terrifying what they were doing. You can't do anything about it because
context.
Liberals will lie and then no one believes you.
Just for context, like senators, because there's only 100 of them and they consider themselves the upper house of our Congress. There's the Senate and the House of Representatives. The senators are very slow to act. They have a longer term, 6 years. They're kind of hoity-toity, smelling their own farts. They think they're above things. So they don't get involved in stuff that's going to sully them or make them look bad. So the fact that a senator or that multiple senators have spoken out about this, that means there's a lot of substance to the accusations. People in the House, because there's only two, they only have two, the House of Representatives, there's 435 of them. They only have 2-year terms. So that's where you kind of get the most clowns in our government. The senators are generally not unserious, clowny people. So when the senators actually say, "Hey, this actually matters," people tend to pay more attention.
Dude, it's horrifying what was going on. I mean, and this is just one example. It got to the point, and I'll tell you this: people, I debate these progressives, and they'll be like, I bring up civil war, the potential for civil war. During this period, Texas deployed its armed state guard with rifles against the federal government because of what they were doing. And we were sitting here be like, holy and then Texas I think it was Texas, deployed state guard to various states. We started seeing actual state organized armament against federal government. With something like this, the terrifying thing about it is, if the Texas State Guard decided we are not going to allow the Biden administration, regardless of the Supreme Court, to tear down our border barriers, and you get dangerously close to armed state guards, these are military guys, walking up to a DHS guy, putting their hands up and saying, back off and get away from the border. The DHS guy saying, we have authority on our side. They draw their guns, you back off. That's how dangerously close to a shootout between the federal government and the states we were in 2021.
Yeah, cooler heads prevailed, obviously. Yeah. But the point is these policies that the federal government when it was the Joe Biden administration about immigration, they were having an oversized impact on states like Texas, Arizona, the ones that are on the border. And so when Texas is like, don't do this, we're going to stop this because it's having an outside effect on us. And the federal government says, you're not allowed. The border is our jurisdiction according to the Constitution. And Texas is like, well, then actually do your job.
In Arizona, they created a double barrier of shipping containers to secure the border because of the mass illegal immigration, millions of people. The United States government under Biden filed a lawsuit against Arizona arguing immigration is the purview of the executive branch and the states have no authority to enforce it. And the courts agreed under the premise that the federal government would protect our borders. Arizona was not allowed to put up border barriers and had to remove them. And then what did the executive government do? Let millions of people come in anyway.
Okay, so what you're telling me, because this is the first time I've ever paid attention, is that America is a Republican country, and the libtards are using illegals to come in here to get a vote to make it, because it's pretty close. It's like 50-50. But what is really happening in this country is the real Americans want Republicans to stay in office. That's the end. Libtards would never win again if it wasn't for illegal immigrants.
It's just
So what are you saying?
That's
Well, it's
on one
60-40.
level. That's
How's
true.
it partially true? Is it?
because
Is it or isn't
60-40,
it?
it's not absolute.
Underneath the bankers,
It's like 60-40 though.
Yeah, because there are some naturally progressive
still,
So
people.
they would win at localities. They would
Yeah.
have minority representation, but they would never control the seats of government.
Well, let me ask you this:
but-
Are you
but-
happy with what's going on?
But let me clarify one point. The real thing that would happen is that the Democratic Party would moderate to meet the Americans where they are, and we would have two political parties.
Right, but do you think that the Republican Party right now have done stuff that is obviously not the same because it doesn't work to have illegal immigrants for them? But is there things that they do that we don't know about that if we knew we would?
Yeah, of course.
Well, Trump's actually deported less people than Barack Obama did.
Obama had more turnarounds.
I think these flock cameras are pretty insane.
Okay, we're not changing the subject, bro.
Well, he's asking about what's happening.
Republicans are not doing
Republican
that.
watch.
It's a totally different subject.
Why, where's the president
So
getting rid of these things?
Are there things
He's a
you've seen the
technocrat,
Republicans
that's why.
do
Data centers?
that you want to bring up? Like,
What's that?
are there things the Republicans have done that you think are bad as well?
Well, did you look at yes, okay, data center because I'm in Utah, so I see all these people that really don't want that, and I know that we have a water shortage. I've only been living there for 6 months, but everybody says that. I've seen the lakes go down and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't seem like we would really want that. It seems like Utah doesn't want that, but you're making it happen. It's going to happen.
So Trump put a bunch of money through Quantum Leap, but this is a corporate capitalist thing. The Democrats aren't stopping it either.
And the argument is that if we don't build the data centers, China will have all of them. But I still don't.
But that's
Look, I
not
moved
a
here just like
partisan
he was
thing.
saying. Like I didn't move here to start a mini Australia, where I just had only Australians and we ate Vegemite all day and you weren't allowed in.
That'd be kind of fun.
That was not my plan. You would actually like it, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't like Vegemite. But I don't. I moved here. I'm American. Like some Australian people might not like me saying that, but I have 2 children here. I love this country. This country gave me a fantasy life. Like in Australia, could you be a professional skateboarder and be 50? No, you could not. And I got into fighting, so now I'm a pro fighter, and I train with Dan Henderson, who was like a champion, world champion. Is he in Australia? No, he's not. All the things I like are here, and if this is what you guys are doing, then that's what I'm doing. And if it's not something I want to do, I'll go back where I came from. Yeah. Just like all the people that say that, when it sounds like you're being racist. But if I don't like it,
we've got a double-edged sword with the Democratic Party encourages abortion.
Yeah.
And then we get a population shortage, so they open the borders to millions of non-Americans.
Encourages abortion?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was telling you.
All right, let's roll, baby.
Because I feel like I'm this is gonna make everyone. I can tell this table. I think if you have a vagina, then it's your call.
What if the baby has a vagina?
It's the
listen, brother. This is what people need to understand: is that I am not a conservative. I am just telling you what is.
Yeah.
But liberals live in a fantasy reality where
both sides do.
That's not correct.
Republicans have said stuff to me where I'm like, dude,
certainly.
like you're making me want to be a libtard by how dumb.
But I'm talking about what is, not what should be. So when I say Michelle Wolf on Netflix said get an abortion and they encourage women to do it.
She's joking.
No, she's not.
What do you mean? She's a comedian.
The joke is that Republicans want to ban it.
Yeah.
She comes out and listen, when they're saying you get an abortion and you get an abortion. If I told you, Michelle Wolf.
She's joking.
Yeah, but there's a thing called the Mark Twain Award they give to the best political satire.
Joking.
But it's
and although it's great
political
for
satire
his
has a
wrinkly
meaning
head,
to
it could be catastrophic for
Well, they canceled
reproductive
the show
rights.
anyway.
Because it's almost certain that Trump will try to replace him
That was
with
a long
someone
time
who
ago.
Oh, okay. Look, I've seen her.
Jason?
She's a political
in Colorado.
roaster.
In Colorado, it is legal to get an abortion as the baby is being born.
Shut up, dude.
9 months.
You can marry a fucking 15-year-old in some states too, but you're not fucking. Nobody's killing a fucking. You're saying wah, and then nah. No one's ever done that. What do you mean?
That happened. That
It's
has
never
happened.
happened.
Yes, it has.
It's a reality, dude. You're making it
Yes, it has.
Listen.
And Planned Parenthood's been caught with baby body parts because they can sell them. Actually, as a matter of fact, that sounds. They literally
baby
use,
leg, like sell it.
Yeah.
For what?
For our research, are you getting stem cells from a baby are very valuable?
Cells is from the umbilical cord, dude.
Not
Well,
just
I'm
the-
saying you don't think that
You know
baby
that, right?
parts.
Do you
No, I'm
know
talking
that?
about. Yeah, I know that.
Well, then
yes,
why'd
that's why
you
I'm the one
just
that
say
brought up
that?
stem cells.
Why did you
because,
just say that
Because
then?
they can use baby parts
You don't
and
use the
study
leg
them.
to make
How
stem
are you
cells,
going to
dude.
study
You
a baby
can.
without it being dead? I'm
Study
saying
a baby?
yes. Have you never heard of science? Yeah, they do science on babies. They use dead babies to do science
if the
on. Believe it or
baby's
not,
dead,
Jason.
what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Well, it's dead because it was
It's dead
aborted.
because they want to use it for science, dude. What are you retarded, dude? Because some of the stuff
it
that you
wasn't
think,
aborted
oh,
so you could do research on it.
there
It was
are
aborted
babies that
because
have been aborted
the person that had
they
the
can do
vagina
research
didn't
on.
want to have a
That has
baby
happened,
anymore.
Jason. Just because you want to be ignorant to it, that has happened. You're being ignorant to it.
You're
Planned
being rude.
Parenthood.
Don't
I don't
say
care.
that.
Planned Parenthood has
I'm
been
not
caught with
trying
baby
to
body
not
parts.
gather information.
Well, you're trying to act like, oh, that doesn't happen. Nobody would ever abort a
You're
baby.
saying
up to
somebody
9
had a
months.
baby,
calm down.
and when it came out, they killed the baby.
No. So what they do is
That's the thing that
This
happens.
is
The woman
very
goes into
shocking,
labor.
and
Let
I
me
understand
explain.
why you.
Yeah.
the woman goes into labor.
Yeah.
And as the baby crowns, they take a tool that cuts the spinal column, killing it, and then vacuum out the remaining parts.
Who does that?
The abortion doctor.
Yes.
Why wouldn't somebody wanted an abortion as they were having the baby? They kept it for 9 months.
So if a woman
and then right
at
when
9
it was going to come out, they were like, "Actually, I've changed my mind."
Yes.
I don't believe you.
This is why we have the
is
politics we
shocking,
have
I
in this country.
understand.
I don't believe you.
I'll pull it up for you.
A mother
It is
had it
unbelievable.
in for 9 months. Probably bought shit for
Yes.
it.
So she so
then
she never
killed it.
She never thought of herself as a mother, which is
But
why
why would you carry it?
I can't
Ask
answer
them, I
that
don't know.
question for you. But it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
change.
need
Okay, I'm
to
gonna
see a
pull the
video.
Nancy Tran
I'm gonna
video.
need to see a video of somebody.
We can't
doing
show
it.
that video on. In fact, it's hard to find.
This is like kids dressed as cats shitting in kitty litters. It's not true.
Jason, it's hard to
Furries
find.
do exist. That's
They
true.
don't do, but no kid dressed as
Here
a
in
cat
New York
takes shit
saying
in a
women
kitty litter
can-
at school.
Yeah,
What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah,
All right.
they're talking.
You ready?
Furries.
You ready?
Yeah,
How
but I
late,
mean-
Oh
how
my
late
God.
in the third trimester could a
This fucking website.
Yes, I've
we
seen
go.
this.
You've seen this.
Yes.
They'll say that is the law. Right.
how
but I
late
mean-
how late in the third trimester could a physician perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman?
So,
All right,
I mean,
all right. No, I've heard
through
it.
the
I
third
got it.
trimester. The
I
third
believe
trimester
you.
goes all the way up to.
So
That's a
lost.
law that is agreed.
They
That
lost.
needs to be adjusted.
No, they lost.
Yeah, but I'm saying, did anyone do that?
Yes, they do it all the time.
No, they don't.
Dude, you know, in
What-
Canada,
what-
they
hold on,
medically
let me ask you
assisted
this.
suicide. You know, I'm
Do you
just
think
saying-
that women
If you're
would
going to
do
get
it?
an abortion, get an abortion. Why would you wait until it's about to come out?
Why make it legal?
Wait, what?
Why-
I agree, but you're doing this.
No,
I
I have a
agree that
series
they
of questions
shouldn't make.
I'm gonna-
I think it's a preposterous thing to make
And
legal.
my question following that
my
is-
question is, no woman would ever do that. It's just like a dumb print that they need. The fact that the argument stays is insane. They could have gone, oh, it says that. Oh, we've got to change that because obviously you wouldn't. It's like when they're when you find out you're pregnant.
What about a woman that carries her baby for 9 months and sells it to 2 gay guys? Could you
What's wrong
believe
with that?
Okay, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm saying surrogacy. I mean,
What's wrong with that?
I'm saying.
Okay, can we
you
talk
can't
about
imagine a
one
woman
thing?
killing
You
can't imagine a woman
argument.
killing a kid.
You would definitely
but
give
they'll
it
sell
to-
it to 2 gay guys. Come on.
What's wrong with giving it to 2 gay guys?
Well, I'm just saying, you think that it's impossible that a woman would want to have an abortion, a late-term abortion, but you don't think it's crazy that a woman would have a baby, carry it for 9 months, even maybe by itself, and then sell it to 2 gay guys?
You're arguing that
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
just
gay
the
guys should be
same
able
to give your baby to 2 gay people as to murder it as it's coming out of your vagina.
They're very similar, yeah.
Jason, there was a Jason.
That's good.
Okay, you can laugh, but they're similar.
Jason,
You don't
Either
approve,
way, you're never.
You don't
either,
approve of
e-
gay
e-
people.
Either way,
with children.
I don't think people should be able to buy babies like they're
Wait, so you shouldn't
donuts
be
at the
able to
bakery.
adopt?
No, you should be able to adopt.
But not if you're
But I'm
gay.
saying if there's
But not if you're
surrogacy
gay.
is no.
Why
I
did
don't
the
care if
gay
you're
come up?
Listen, Jason, because I know that you're gay, so you're gonna like get all butthurt
not
about
gay.
this, but you're bisexual or whatever. What
I
I'm
could
saying
make you
is,
gay right now if
No,
I
you
wanted
would not
to,
make
but
me
I'm not
gay.
gay.
What I'm saying is, this is you think it's so crazy and so shocking that a woman would have a late term abortion. I'm saying there's even just as much shocking things happening where women will carry the baby and have it and just give it to 2 people and never see the baby again. So I don't know what the difference is between killing the baby and giving it
adopting your
for
baby and murdering it as it's coming out of
selling
your
the
vagina.
baby.
I want an
is different
example.
than
Give me
adopting.
one example.
Hold on, guys. Can
Give me
we pause
one
real quick?
example.
And they don't sell them.
Can we
They
pause
do
real
sell them. They get paid to be a
Alex,
surrogate.
can we pause real quick? I have a question. Should it be illegal across the board for late-term abortion? I don't.
What?
I don't.
Across the border to get an abortion?
No. Should it be illegal across the board? Just in the United States, in every state, late-term abortions should be illegal. Do you agree?
What does late term mean?
Like 6 months and beyond.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you believe us that it's happening. Just matters that when you go to vote, you say, I don't think it's happening, but we shouldn't let it happen anyway.
Well, this here says a woman's 36 weeks pregnant develops pregnancy complications, and in those
Oh, well, that's
situations-
different. Okay. That didn't. Okay.
This is a
I mean, if you have
hypothetical.
a healthy baby, but if you have a baby that might kill you, then
That's what a lot of these arguments are for.
So-
then what
the
the
health of
fuck
the
are we
mother.
arguing about?
Jason.
It's gonna kill the lady, so she has to fucking get a late term abortion to stay alive.
Jason.
There's not even. It's her life,
Jason,
and that's her baby.
Jason. So this may sound a little bit like a right term,
I
but
think
it's
you keep making it out like these women are getting off on it.
no. But
No one said
no.
This is fucking the worst thing.
Literally
I've had
TikTok
it.
videos, Jason, of women celebrating their abortions. Just go on
I
TikTok.
have. Listen, I have.
I'm
a-
dead
listen,
serious,
I have a. There's a thought experiment that I want to do here, just for 1 second, right? And just stay with me because it'll sound a little bit like a right term, but it's not. There was a time where the idea of thousands of people being killed by their doctor intentionally with that individual's approval seemed ridiculous. But the third leading cause of death in Canada is their medical assistance in dying program. They kill people for mental illness, for depression, and et cetera. And the point that I'm making, right, is it sounds fantastical. It sounds like it's unreal to say that the third leading cause of death in Canada is death by the doctor because the doctor says, well, I'm going to prescribe you death, essentially.
Wait,
But
the patient doesn't want it.
no, the patient is ostensibly, for argument's sake, we'll say the patient does want it, okay? But the reason is you have depression issues. So basically, you have depression issues, and we don't think we can fix you, or you have chronic pain or what have you. But there was a time. And the point that I'm making is there was a time where that seemed ridiculous and people would react and say, there's no way. The Hippocratic Oath promised to do no harm. That would never happen. And particularly when the argument for medical assistance in dying was being made, the argument, they would say, well, you're going to get doctors killing people for silly reasons and frivolous reasons. And they were like, people would say, no, that never happens, never happens.
Okay.
But now in Canada, the third leading cause of death is medical assistance
This
in
is
dying.
the CDC.gov. It says fewer abortions were performed at 14 to 20 weeks gestation 6.1 or at greater than 21 weeks at 1.1%. That is of tracked abortions at, I believe the number is 613,383. 1.1% were later than 5 months. 6,000 babies were aborted after 5 months.
And that's probably because it was jeopardizing the mother, right?
Well, we don't know why, because there's no restrictions. It's elective
So
abortion.
I don't know, and you don't know, and you're leaning towards they want to kill the baby.
I
I'm
never said
leaning
that.
towards- he is.
Okay, so we got to pause.
My
real quick.
argument is a woman that's doing that. I believe that she's got her reasons, and they're not. I don't see her as a cold-blooded get a boner on killing.
And I've made none of those arguments. Right. I simply said they have legal. Can we please? I simply said they legalized abortion to the point of birth in Colorado, and I asked you this because I knew you would not believe that they did.
Yeah.
It is legal for elective purposes, meaning a woman. So, anecdotally, there's a bunch of arguments that. Possibly in the dozens this has happened. We don't know for sure. What we do know is we have about 6,000 post 5-month abortions. Wow. And that's just the CDC track. They haven't even gone to various estimates would put it around 400 per year are 8 or 9 month abortions.
It's really sad. Because in my mind, every one of those is the mother has to make a choice.
Do you know what the cited...
That is not... They're not celebrating it.
Do you know what the cited reason for 92% of abortions is?
What?
None.
What do you mean, no reason?
No reason.
Wait, because they didn't tell you? Doesn't mean they didn't have a
No, they've asserted no reason for the abortion. I am not saying there's anything more about the women.
They don't want to be an adult.
The women, perhaps, I don't know, but the cited, I believe 92% is no reason given.
Your boyfriend is not the one.
Maybe.
Like that.
We call that abortion as contraception.
Yeah, look, I don't, like, is the pill abortion? If you're on the pill?
The birth control pill? No.
Yeah.
Well, some people think it is because
fertilized
egg will come out of the body, so it's a baby being flushed down the toilet.
Look, I've been there for an abortion. It wasn't good, dude. When I was really young, me and my girlfriend went through it, and she didn't fucking celebrate it. It was more like we were young, and everyone was like, if you have that baby, your life will be ruined. Like you're a child. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right, but that's her decision, and she made the decision. That's
my question is just, why are they legalizing it?
What do you mean legalizing it?
So for the longest time, it was illegal after like 16 weeks to get an abortion. And
I mean, dude, the only argument, and I stand by this, if you are going to die or almost die from your pregnancy, and the doctors have they have stuff now where they can tell you that.
But that's not what we're talking about.
It used to be you could fucking die. You didn't know until it came out.
Right. But
they're like, hey, this baby is. You might make it. You might. But
that's not what
we're
talking about.
Well, then,
I'm talking about elective abortion.
What do you got accidentally pregnant? You want to get an abortion?
So I don't know. Elective means you don't have an underlying medical cause. You just want the baby terminated. The question is, why are they legalizing that into 7, 8, 9 months?
For that, my argument.
No. Elective means without a medical reason.
But they have to say that.
With a no. If a woman has a medical reason, the law does not apply on abortion. Doctors can apply medical treatment to save the life of the woman or the child, and if the life ends, right, that's different from abortion. The point I'm bringing up is, why are they legalizing the right of a woman to say, I plumb just don't want the baby, so please terminate it? That's different from, oh my God, I could die, please save my life.
Right, but I think we're arguing about the time thing, because I'm like...
It is a time.
Okay, so
if the baby can survive outside the womb, don't kill it.
You should if you want to get an abortion, great. But if you find out you're pregnant and you don't want to have a baby and you keep it for 6 more months, that's on you, and now you're having.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Especially because at 6 months the baby can survive outside of the womb.
Yeah, it's a fucking human.
Yeah, you don't need to kill it.
Yeah.
So
it's kicking.
So the issue that I have, I would describe myself as traditional Democrat pro-choice, meaning we probably agree on a lot of these things.
Yeah.
The issue is, I sat down with a friend of mine who's a famous comedian in New York, millions of followers. This was like in 2019. And he was saying like, oh, you've become right-wing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm still pro-choice. I think like for a lot of these issues, it's difficult. The woman's going to make a decision with their doctor and it's nothing to do with me. And then he said, well, then what are you talking about with like these, why are you opposed to the abortion law they're trying to pass? And I pulled up the abortion law, which explicitly stated that they could have abortions late term for any reason. And he goes, I don't believe that. And I'm like, brother, this is Senate.gov. This is from a Democrat where they said it should be legal that at 9 months you get an abortion. He goes, that's fake. And I'm like, bro, we agree, right? That's all that matters. You tell me right now you think that shouldn't be allowed. And he goes, yeah, of course it shouldn't be allowed. And I said, okay, well, I read Senate.gov on my show and said this shouldn't be legal. And someone lied to you and said Tim Pool is pro-life.
I know. Is it possible for that law to be voted upon by women and women only?
I think that'd be wrong.
Oh yeah, you want to be in charge of the puss?
No one ever said in charge.
You're calling the shots on her.
Your body, my choice, dude.
I think we can't draw a distinction between termination of life based on gender. So I'm pro-choice. I think that when it comes to like issues of abortion, to a certain point, that's women and a doctor. It has nothing to do with me.
And also,
but I think if you're arguing that a viable human being that can survive at 9 months, I have no say as an American citizen as to whether we determine a murder or not in that capacity. Yeah. Well, that would be like saying, why then can't women murder the child when it's born, right? It's she's giving birth. She doesn't want to. No, I think at a certain point, if a human being is a viable life form, and let me pause real quick. This is actually the principal argument in Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court was trying to determine when the baby became its own legal entity for protections. So if the baby can't survive on its own, you've got an interesting conundrum as to who is in full control. I mean, if the woman says she doesn't want to be pregnant and the baby is removed, the baby dies. But if the baby can be removed safely and survive, why would the woman have the right to kill it? Because the argument gets really complicated. Let's say this.
That's all it is. It gets really complicated because it's. I agree that if you have a baby in your womb for 6 months and it's healthy and you're like, I don't want it anymore and I don't need to tell anybody why, just kill it. I'm not for that. That's weird.
But you want to control the puss?
What?
You want to control the puss?
I'm not, but I'm saying, in my opinion, it's weird. I'm not telling her she can't do it.
So let me ask you a question.
It's not my puss.
2 women, identical twins. Marry identical twin brothers. Consummate the exact same night. Get pregnant the exact same time. 8.5 months later, they are both in the hospital. The woman woman A and woman B, let's call it Jane and Joan. Jane starts getting contractions before her twin sister, and the baby is born. So Jane gives birth.
Yeah.
Joan then says, I would like to terminate this baby before it's born. Do you think the man should be able to say no?
It's such a bullshit scenario.
It's not.
Why not? Or why?
Because it'll never happen.
But it's not it's called a thought experiment.
Okay, if it was really a thing that was happening, I would be like, right now, clearly my wife has lost her mind, because apparently up until right now, we were like, we got a name, we got a crib, it's got a room, and now right as it's about to come out next to your twin sister, you're like, no, hold on, I want to kill it. I'd be like, you're fucking insane. I'm not going to allow that.
It's called the thought experiment, right? It means we don't actually expect the scenario. The purpose of the experiment is to say 2 identical circumstances where the baby is born and not born, but the babies are identical for all intents and purposes. Why would someone have the legal right to kill one baby and not the other? So let's for your thought experiment.
They both had
the woman separated from her husband.
Yeah.
And so Jane is with her husband, but Joan's husband left her. They're both in the hospital, and she says, I won't have a baby without a husband, so kill it. The husband then calls the doctor and says, absolutely not. My wife's a nut job. You will not kill my baby.
Yeah. I'm adopt. That's all your scenarios. Adopt.
So this is the question.
Yes.
The liberal
stop her legally.
So there you
go.
So that's the conservative
you win
position.
Again.
You're a conservative, dude.
I'm finally do I get anything for this?
You get to choke slam Alex after the show.
Really? Well, hell yeah, man.
I'm gonna film it.
If any woman touches a baby, I'll kill her myself.
But here's the point, Jason.
You know what I'm saying, brother?
Here's the point. I'm a traditional liberal.
Yeah.
And you and I probably agree on most of these moral issues.
Yeah, why do you think I fucking hang out?
But here's the thing.
I don't get you're this evil guy. If you're that evil guy, why am I here?
But it's because now here's the question: why did they lie to you?
Because the media tells them that you're evil.
But the question is is it because they're just evil? I guess.
Well, you talk about stuff that is triggering for both sides. And you do have, as demonstrated several times today, some hostility.
So I would
you debate really well.
Wait, you're the one that's threatening Alex.
So let me
let
me tell you a story. It's going to blow your mind. In 2020, Donald Trump lost the election to Joe Biden.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
In November, when he lost, I made a video saying Donald Trump loses. Republicans then began to claim that Democrats cheated, voting machines flipped, and I debunked all of that. And I said, I think it's around January, Democrats were able to win through ballot harvesting, a legal practice by which activists go door to door, collect ballots on behalf of people, and then submit them, allowing Joe Biden to get 81 million votes. Several political organizations tied to the Biden administration internally discussed that I was correct and that conservatives had not noticed what I was discussing and that my sharing this information was going to cause them problems in upcoming elections. It benefited the Democrats that Republicans believed they were flipping voting machines because Republicans were off in la-la land. So what they did was they put out several smear pieces against me claiming that I was a principal progenitor of election conspiracies. They did so that people would stop listening to my show. This is a proven fact. And the documents have been declassified. They've been released. We've seen them. Talk to Mike Benz. He went over all the list of names and they were like, it was you. Because the conservatives were screaming servers in Germany and Venezuela are stealing the election, and Trump's claiming illegal immigrants. So the reason they come after me is because I stop people like Alex when I explain how they use the census to create extra Democrat votes. They go, oh shit, Tim Pool is exposing what we're actually doing. So I'm not a conservative. When I point out that 6,000 abortions per year are late term, they say, shit, if the American people find out there are 6,000 of these things, they're going to vote against us. So they have to silence people like me. This culminates in the Attorney General of the United States fabricating a claim that I was paid by Russians.
That's what people tell me. I'm paid by Russians.
The government of the United States under Joe Biden, to go after me for telling the truth, fabricated a story about Russia paying me. That's how fucking insane the things we are dealing with really are.
You know what's
Because
funny?
the truth is, just one last point, our politics are probably very, very similar. There are many people like you who completely, like we agree on most things, but who believe, because they've been manipulated by the government and by the left, that I believe different things.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to watch my show where I explain to people who don't know something like Joe Biden opening the border and letting people in. And liberals who would agree with me on policy say, Tim Pool's lying. There's no way that's true.
I think I'm the only person at the table that's actually been paid by Russia.
Have you been paid by Russia?
All that remains has gone to Russia twice. We went to Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Moscow.
If it was the other way around and you said Trump opened the border, I would still say same thing.
I probably, yeah.
It's not because it's Joe Biden or it's Donald Trump. It's because you're telling me that the commander in chief is doing something that hurts us.
Yeah.
Well, they think it helps.
I know, but it's just it's a way to do it where the people are getting the shaft again.
30% increase in home costs. 20% increase in rental.
Here's how the media works.
Insane.
You see this headline from Syracuse.com? MAGA influencer accuses Trump of deceiving supporters on major issue. He is doing nothing. You want to take a guess who that MAGA influencer is?
Is it?
It's me.
Yeah.
Now, why are they calling me a MAGA influencer when I'm criticizing Donald Trump?
Yeah. Why?
Because they need to make sure moderate liberals don't hear me call out the president. The narrative they want to create is that Tim Pool is a conservative, right-wing Trump supporter. So it's a problem when I criticize Trump, and I do all the time. In fact, the administration's very mad at me about this. So what they do, the headline is going to say I'm a Trump supporter even when I'm not supporting Trump.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Yeah.
I criticize Trump because the SAVE Act, which would require voter ID, Trump is just talking about. Thomas Massie comes out against the Israel technology, integration with the military. He comes out against the Epstein stuff. So what did Trump do? Trump got him removed from office, effectively. He ran a massive primary campaign against Massie. Massie is no longer going to be in Congress as of January 3rd. John Thune, who's running the Senate, is blocking the SAVE Act. What is Trump doing? Nothing. So I said, Trump is pretending like he wants the SAVE Act passed, but is taking no political action against those obstructing him. So what does the media say? MAGA influencer accuses Trump. Why don't they just put Tim Pool criticizes Trump? Because no matter what I do, even if it's anti-Trump, it's still pro-Trump. It's all fake.
But so what? So are you mad at that?
I'm very mad at that. But it is what it is. What do I do but keep doing my job? They want to make sure that if someone like you or a liberal sees the news story, they immediately think Tim Pool is the other. I can't trust him.
Wait, am I a liberal?
So we describe you in the political sphere. Like if you go to D.C., the think tanks would call you what's called the default liberal.
Wait, why?
default liberal means someone who's politically uninitiated. They don't follow politics or really pay attention. Because of that, you've learned a lot of things from the media that is liberal oriented and probably not true. So you will believe things that are liberal even though you're not political.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe. I mean, I guess I see. I see both. I see videos of both sides looking bad, so I get to see a broad array of accusations where I take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, how do I know any of that's true? I wasn't there. Like, I know famous people. I know famous people that have slept with other people that didn't sleep with anybody because they were standing right next to me the whole time. But in the news, it's like, he slept with the Hooters waitress. And I'm like, unless I started being a waitress at Hooters, that didn't happen.
Who was it who just said they framed Nixon on Joe Rogan's podcast?
I don't know.
It was this. I can't remember who it was. I mean, you want to Google it real quick?
Yeah.
There was some. It's some like famous actor or director. He said,
Oliver Stone?
Yeah.
No.
He talked about it.
No.
You sure?
The story is that a liberal read a book from Bernstein about his friend, who's a celebrity.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray said this.
Yeah.
He said, when I read that book about my friend, I went, my God, they framed Nixon. Because if they're going to lie about my friends this way, everything he said about Nixon must have been a lie too. That's what it is.
All right.
So I would describe the reason why we describe the left as a cult is because they believe things that are not true because they were told to believe them.
Well, the other side does that too.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
I would agree
Yes.
with
Holy
Jason.
shit.
It's called the left. It's general, and the right. It's tendency.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, if
No.
it was Trump, well, that's different. I'm like, wait.
Nope.
So, like, I've seen Joe Rogan do that.
Is Tucker Carlson a Trump supporter?
Nah.
Exactly. So the right has
I saw that.
Tucker Carlson with 10 million followers who gets 7 million views per episode hating Trump.
Yeah.
His followers don't believe anything Trump says.
This is the thing that you all switched. I noticed.
What do you mean?
Everybody, most Republicans are like not happy with Trump.
That's not true.
That's people I meet.
Not
He is.
I'm not too satisfied, to be honest. No.
You're not.
I've always been sort of middle on the road on Trump. My position on Trump hasn't changed at all.
You're a Republican, right?
Independent, moderate.
More leaning towards that side.
So
So we got to clarify a few things.
Yeah.
Just because I voted for Republican doesn't change the fact that I'm an independent. Independents vote left and right.
If you vote Republican, doesn't that make you a Republican?
No, I'm unaffiliated, but I voted Republican in 24. I voted Democrat in 08.
I voted for Obama in 08.
I'm voting for
I supported
AOC
Bernie
in
Sanders in
2016.
2016.
I don't know if this is personal or not, but in the next election, who would you vote for?
AOC.
I don't know.
The other side.
Well,
Big booty Latinas.
if the
all way,
Democratic
yes.
Party
Is it really that
reformed,
big?
It's big enough.
Okay.
if the Democratic Party reformed and they had a viable candidate, I'd vote for a Democrat, a Libertarian, or otherwise.
Okay.
So right now, we don't know what's going to be. J.D. Vance, the most viable candidates right now would be J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. The Democrats actually don't have any real candidates right now.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, who is there even to vote for? You know?
They have nobody. So I supported, in 2020, I made maximum donations 3 or 4 times to the Democrats.
Yeah.
When they stole it from Bernie twice and installed Biden as the nominee through circuitous means, I said, I'm going to vote for Trump.
And they killed Seth Rich.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Who?
It's a whole other thing, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but
You see?
well, listen. If this feels like a college class for Jason, you know what I mean?
It really is.
No, but this is not for Jason.
I'm like, what?
This is not for Jason. And I'm going to tell you again, I apologize for getting frustrated earlier, but it's not for Jason. It's for anybody who is watching this show and is thinking what Jason is thinking, hearing these things for the first time.
Jason's like a lot of people. Like
Right.
a lot.
I tell you, the difference is that I'm not triggered. Like,
Well,
most people, I know people, because that's in my group, this is a big thing. This is why I am able to be at this table, because at one point I was in a community of people that were not doing well. You know, like a lot of dark, I come from a dark world where the people that I liked were, criminal, tattoo, drug, I was in porn. All my friends had a bad life and they're kind of like doing the best they can, but very liberal. Very angry, you're gay, you're bi, you're trans. They're trying to make me not. You can't. And at one point, I was getting crucified because I was like, "How's he doing?" It's not a he, it's a she. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
Like you got to see that I'm not doing it in a way that it's negative. But I definitely spent a long time only around those people, And then when I got sober and started to I was like, oh wow, sleeping with everybody is not actually healthy. That's bad. And I didn't know. And then we're talking 2 years where if I'm not hanging out with those people, I've pushed these other people away. So I'm by myself. And I'm getting sober. It was super scary. At one point I was like, even you, first time I came here, I was like, what? Somebody DM'd me and was like, don't go on that show. I didn't even know it was a show. I was like, they want me to come. I like talking to people, and you gotta listen. This is what he said. He's a racist. He's a homophobe. I'm like, really? Why would he have me on? That's a weird. Like he knows I'm not gonna go. Yeah, man, don't say that. Like I don't want to do that. And I said, got any video? He's like, yeah. And then he sent me 2 videos, and I went,
what were the videos?
Where's the bit? He said something about men not paying for dinner and something about how men are not men anymore, about something about you need to take care of your
masculinity or
something about masculinity. And I was like, wait, where's the racist bit in that? or homophobic? Like, is it homophobic? It just seemed like he thinks we should pay for dinner. Like I didn't really. I'm not catching what you have stated. And then, but it was enough because I owe my fans. As soon as I walked in here, I was like, hey, man, can I just talk to you for a second before we come up here? Because if you're like, yeah, fuck black people, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in that. And if you were like, yeah, fuck gay people, I'd be like, okay, that's the difference. My sobriety, my understanding, my constant I've apologized to everybody I've ever known for being angry, quick, and bitter. And if you're not thinking what I'm thinking, then fuck you. That's all I was about. So now I listen to people. I'm friends with Jeff Dye. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is not a liberal guy.
No.
And I was on his show, and some of the things that he thought I don't agree with. But it's your opinion, and you don't want anything bad to happen to me. You love your parents, or you want to fall in love with a girl. If you have a kid, you're going to love the kid. Like, we're all the same. It's just this weird, how dare you thing where I'm like, I just don't care anymore. If you say something that's offensive,
so here's
your life, dude. Like, I'm not going to jump down your throat.
Here's the saying. Everybody is on this beach surrounded by this wall of fire. And you're being told by all these people around you, they're grabbing your arm saying, don't go near the fire. The fire is dangerous. When you finally decide to jump over that wall, you find the whole world and everything was fine the whole time.
Yeah.
So on this side, we've got members of our community who are transgender, gay. One of our regulars, who's a good friend of ours, is gay married. We have no issues with anybody. It's very liberal in a sense. We have a lot of conservatives who are very far right, but it's liberal in the sense that we all hang out together. In fact, there's a guy that everybody who watches the show absolutely hates. You know who I'm talking about? Brian Shapiro.
Yeah, but he's our friend.
But he's a raging liberal TS. He gets beat.
If you're a raging liberal in this room, I can see how that might trigger a few people.
No, but we laugh.
But he's a nice guy.
Phil, they do not get along.
That's the thing, and people don't realize. This comedy taught me this. Going on the road, I have people on social media say this, say that. Everybody I meet at a meet and greet after a show, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And you can be like, this one thing I don't like, or actually, you know what, maybe gay isn't bad. And I'm like, okay, I also understand where you come, your parents. I don't know where you were born. Maybe you were hung out with the people that were like, these guys are bad. Maybe one of them did something bad to you. Everyone has a reason. I just never take it. I was always ready. Like,
well, here, I want to make one point.
Let me
I do that.
I'm going to give you the final thoughts.
I go, because are we getting jumped? You got to be ready. And
I'm going to say one thing, and then Alex, you can wrap it up. We just we're friends with everybody.
Yeah.
We have friends who are liberals and progressives.
I'm here.
Right. If you're nice to us, we're nice to you.
Gay as fuck.
There you go. But that's just it.
You, dude.
If you're nice to us, we're nice to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But take it away, Alex.
And I just want to make this point. I think this would describe Tim's politics, and correct me if I'm wrong. And
he will.
I'm paraphrasing Machiavelli. is that most people are good, but most people in power are bad because you had to do something bad to get into power. And I think Tim is trying to fight against the power, the man, the people that are trying to hold us back. And so I think that's a better representation of Tim's. If it's a conservative guy that's doing bad, if it's a liberal guy that's doing bad, whatever, we're trying to fight against the people that are in power that are screwing us over.
I don't think most people are good. I think most people are selfish animals that are hell-bent on survival.
I mean, that's a paraphrase of Machiavelli.
We had this wholesome ending, and then Ian's like, no.
I thought we were in the clear, dude.
It was like the spirit,
we got to get the squirrels. You know what I'm saying?
Spirit has like a good guiding, godlike thing, but the animal body that we inhabit are just devious, murderous.
Yeah, it's like when he fingerboards, I'm like, I'm going to punch him in the mouth. And then
But
I'm like,
he doesn't.
let him do his gay shit. He's all right.
Yeah, I don't think
Guys,
people are good at all.
We've got to get. Okay.
80, 90% destructive animals, and we kind of have a tiny bit of control over that.
We got wait. We got to get ready because we're about to we're getting ready for the live show. Cast Brew Coffee. It's going to be fun. We'll carry on the conversation. Smash the like button, share the show. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Who wants to go first? Shout something out.
I'll go first. It's primetime, Alex Stein. Thank you guys for having me, Tim. It's always a pleasure. Jason, it was great to teach you a little bit about the immigration, abortion, yada, yada, yada. But it was always a pleasure. You made me laugh a lot. And I will say this. Please follow me on X, AlexStein99. Love you guys. Peace.
TheJasonEllis.com for tour dates. I'm a comedian. Sometimes I'm funny. The Jason Ellis Show, patreon.com/EllisMate, and then Horse Force live YouTube show I do every day. I never not do it. Rob Dyrdek came to me in my dreams and told me that if I did it 7 days a week, I would have enough money to buy a horse. And he was right!
Rob do?
Genius.
Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know Rob.
That guy's like.
You don't know Rob?
Rob,
Rob
Dyrdek.
No,
Rob
no,
Dyrdek's
he
like the
doesn't
biggest
understand.
legend
He doesn't
of all
understand.
time.
Who is this guy?
Rob Dyrdek, dude.
I'm Ian
he
Cross.
He had the
And you
longest
can
running
find me-
MTV show in history.
Yeah.
Who?
Rob
He's
Dyrdek
done like
had-
11,000 episodes.
didn't have
Oh, actually,
cable.
shout out After Hours with Alex Stein and Real America's Voice.
Yeah, we didn't have cable growing up. Also didn't have air conditioning. My mother was a bit of a Luddite.
Well, that worked out for you, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it was nice. We had a very stable, loving childhood. Very lucky. So follow me at Ian Crossland on the internet. See you later.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. You can follow me on Patreon as well. That's Phil That Remains. The band is All That Remains. You can check out our music on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for Crime Carter.
I'm Carter Banks. You can follow me at Carter Banks everywhere and at Carter Banks official everywhere else. Trash House Records on YouTube. And I got to say, this is one of my favorite shows that we've done so far because, like, it's just really funny and a great conversation.
Well, Jason's super funny.
I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the Kevin Sin Frontera documentary because I feel like we could have put that out there at any time.
Let's make him watch it.
He should
him watch it on the plane.
We really should because so much
That's
stuff
6'7"
happened,
Kevin.
dude.
Yeah. Going through like the Darien Gap and all that stuff.
It was wild. But anyway, looking forward to everything. Let's go.
We'll see you guys tonight at the party. Well, actually, you're there now, I think. Thanks for hanging out.